Day 2 of 30 teams in 30 days. And today, we have the team that reminds me of the guy below me in the haters hat. The Utah Jazz, they really do remind me of real talk in so many ways. But we are deep diving and talking everything Utah Jazz. They had a pretty big offseason. They made some moves, and this is a new and revamped Utah Jazz team. I think we all should have higher expectations of them. We'll see how everybody feels about the Utah Jazz. We'll see via Super Chats how the chat feels about the Utah Jazz. We know Chill, being a former Utah resident, he may feel a certain type of way. We've heard some takes from him. I want to see if he is consistent in his belief in the Utah Jazz. We do have a guest that will come on today. He is an insider for the Utah Jazz. He covers them in depth, so he'll come and give us some inside knowledge. He'll be here about halfway through the show. But in the meantime, fellas, thoughts on the Utah Jazz, feelings on the Utah Jazz. What's up?
Well, you already know how I feel about the Jazz, Ron. I think they're the trailblazers of last year. I think that they're going to play their way into the playoffs. I think that adding Darren Peterson to this group, I think that that's the missing piece for what they need offensively. I did not like losing Walker Kessler, but Mars and I kind of go back and forth with Nurkic. I don't love the motor, but the one thing that I love about Nurkic is Nurkic will get on the glass. He will rebound. I think that this group with the Western Conference, Mars made a really interesting point yesterday when he said that because of the tanking rule, teams are going to have to play harder, and teams are going to have to be more competitive. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to be good. I mean, just because I got to compete more, that doesn't mean I'm going to be good. But I do think that the way that the Jazz are constructed, I think that they're good enough to play their way into the playoffs this season, with Markkanen being one of the better transition bigs in the game, having a better defensive interior player now in Jaren Jackson, and I think that you bolstered your backcourt and your rotation guys like Isaiah. I'm a big fan of Isaiah Collier off the strength that Isaiah Collier will defend. I mean, he's not the bucket getter that I would like for him to be, but he will definitely defend, and he does a solid job in taking care of the basketball. I'm coming more over to Ox's side with Filipowski. I see what you're looking at with him, Ox, and he's one of them dudes that he's necessary. Like, we need him. We need the energy. We need the dirty work stuff. He'll keep defenses honest. I really like his ability to incorporate himself in what it is that they're doing. So Ace Bailey coming off the bench, I think he's going to give them great minutes. I think that they are a team that plays their way into the playoffs, considering what this Western Conference is this year. So.
Does that mean you guys disagree?
No, I'm actually high on the Jazz this season. I think they should be contending for a play-in / low playoff spot in the Western Conference this year. I think they have one of the best coaches in the league, and this will probably be one of the only years where he gets a real allotment of talent on his roster. I'm interested in seeing what that looks like for him. They always have a really fun offense, one of the best offenses in the league. Prioritize ball movement, spacing, man movement, and cutting as well. They picked up Darren Peterson, high draft pick. Some, say he's the best player of this draft. Shout out to AJ, but some people think Darren Peterson is the best player in this draft. I happen to be one of those people. In that summer league, I don't really watch too much college, to be honest with y'all, but watching Darren Peterson in summer league, we had that conversation about talent a few days ago. His scoring talent, to me, kind of just leaps off the screen, in my opinion. All of the little touch shots, the little runners that he could get to, the shooting off the dribble, the shooting off the catch, the attacking and closeout, handling the ball in pick and roll, like all of that looked really good in my opinion. And I think he can be another, punch to that guard position that they have following Keyonte George, who showed a lot of improvement last year. Chill, was right as far as adding Triple J, shoring up their defense. I know he didn't play a whole bunch, last year for the Jazz, but in his 60 minutes last year, they had a 94 defensive rating.
That's right, Mars.
Man told me a 60 minutes.
There you go.
They had a 94
right.
defensive rating with like a
Uh-huh.
120 something off. They were plus 24. So, you know. Also, I'm saying there weren't a lot of there were a lot of lineups for the Utah Jazz last year. I'm on Cleaning the Glass. Their most possession lineup was 394 possessions, but their best lineup was Lauri Markkanen at the 4. Lauri Markkanen at the 3, Filipowski at the 4, Kessler at the 5. So it'll be interesting to see. I think this is going to be one of the bigger teams in the NBA next year. I think they're going to play huge the whole time.
They lost their biggest player though.
But I'm saying they still have Nurkic. You still have Lauri Markkanen. You still have Filipowski, and you have Triple J. I mean, all 4 of those players are 6'11" plus. You know
I
what I'm
would
saying?
love to play Jaren Jackson at the 5, but he's not a 5 and he doesn't fucking rebound. So I would.
He's gonna
because I want to play
some minutes
Filipowski
at the 5.
I know he is.
He's gonna play.
I know he is. Because I want to play Filipowski because I like Filipowski and I really like him at the 4. And I actually want to start him. I just can't start Jaren Jackson at the 5. That's why I got to start Nurkic because he hasn't.
Yeah, well, there's going to be a lot of times where we're going to see Triple J at the 5. We're going to see Markkanen at the 4. Like that's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen often. I have issues with Triple J's rebounding, but it's just with the roster they have, it's not possible that he doesn't play any 5 minutes.
Mars, what do you?
I personally think that's their best lineup.
So
with Triple J at the 5.
Markkanen at the 3, Filipowski at the 4, and Triple J at the 5. You like that one?
I think they're better when they go big, Ron. When they got Markkanen at the 3. And Nurkic at the 5.
That might actually be. I mean, real talk. Obviously, just read the numbers too. That due to the numbers, yes, that probably is their best lineup. So I'm gonna recant that statement. When Markkanen at the 3, that's probably their best lineup. But I just like the versatility that it gives them when you put Triple J at the 5. Obviously, he's able to switch on defenders. He's able to be a rim protector, but more so on the offensive end. Now you have Triple J. You basically can go a 5-out lineup. Everybody can shoot the ball, and they can play faster. They're more versatile, and I just like Triple J at the 5. Now,
Ron,
obviously, you have the
Triple J.
rebounding issue.
Bro,
but
you like Triple J. You like Triple J dragging them bigs up to the deep waters, huh?
It's a mismatch all around. Yeah, it's a mismatch all around. And Triple J could put the ball on the floor too. Yeah. So it's like you got Lauri that could put the ball on the floor at the 4. Triple J that could put the ball on the floor at the 5. They both can stretch the floor, and then whatever wings that you have in guards, whether it's Keyonte, Duren, Ace, or however they decide to do that, they might go put in Collier with Keyonte and throw somebody else at the 3. However, they can go small, and I think that they can beat teams with their speed, quickness, and just versatility.
Well, you know how that goes, Ron. Coach got
going
a coach.
Small,
you know
they're still going to be like Ace Bailey is going to be like their 2 sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Ace Bailey's also going to be their 4 sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be a lot of it too. It's going to be matchup dependent. It's going to be against because coach got a coach. It's going to be like what is he trying to get out of the lineup right now? Who are we playing against? Like you're going to have times with Lauri at the 5. You know what I'm saying? You got Lauri at the 5. You got Ace at the 4. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying that's. You know what I mean? So
they also picked up Jackson Hayes too. So
they did, huh?
Yeah,
Jackson Hayes is in that lineup. Mars, outside of
they're huge over there. They got a lot of different options they can go to. Like I like a versatile roster like this. You know, so
Mars, you and I have had this conversation about Triple J, and outside of the rebounding, can you refresh my memory on why you don't like him at the 5?
I don't think he's best when he's manning the middle of a defense. I think he's best when he's playing backline with a big in the middle and he's able to just come up and clean up everything. And obviously the rebounds is like its own separate issue. But I think you see most of his best defensive lineups, he's playing next to another big. You don't really want Triple J defending in action. You want him away from the play, messing up everything on the backside. And that's probably when he's at the 4. Mm-hmm. He's not the greatest pick and roll defender. He's not exactly like the most versatile in that aspect anyway. His best attributes is always going to be away from the ball. He's the definition of a power forward in my mind. Like it's just Nothing about him tells me he's a center. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just be a
Sure.
power forward. But yeah, I just think he's at his best at the 4.
There's also the fouling issue too. So when you're playing at the 5 spot, his ability to not foul really throws a monkey wrench in what they're trying to do defensively. Because at the 5 spot, we really rely on you to clean up a lot of our messes, whether it's at the rim, whether it's in the middle of the paint, when you're getting beat, running guys out of the paint. One of the major factors with Wemby being such a great defender is Wemby's ability to run guys out of the paint when guys get beat off the dribble. And with Triple J, with him getting in the foul trouble, I mean, I think that's definitely a problem for the interior defense. So I could get with that. Yes,
you're saying that Triple J, you don't want him defending in the pick and roll, or are you saying he's just not a good pick and roll defender? And if he's not a good pick and roll defender,
I don't think he's great, but I think he's at his best away from the play. Not that he can't do it. I think he can do it, but I think he's at his best away from the play. So like just maximizing him. I do think he can play the 5 for you, but he's not at his best. So I do agree with you. There's going to be times he plays the 5. That's just undeniable. He's going to do it. But in terms of heavy dosage, no, you want him at the 4. That just makes the most sense for him and the team. The team is better with him at the 4. He's better at the 4. It just makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, I was just asking because I'm like, if he can't, I just didn't hear if you were saying that he can't defend in the pick and roll, or if you just don't, he's maximized. Because I got a problem with him not being able to defend in the pick and roll.
Especially if you're a power forward. Go ahead, Ron.
Especially if you're a power forward, I need you to be able to defend the pick and roll.
Mars, I want to ask you, and then Penn, I would like to also hear what would you guys' dream lineup essentially be for this Utah Jazz team? And not necessarily dream lineup because they can actually go to the lineup, but like let's say it was 2K, for instance, where you could just turn off all fatigue and you could play one lineup for 48 minutes. What lineup would it be for this team?
Wait, Ron. You can actually achieve your dreams also. So,
which is what?
Well, because Ron said, well, not really a dream lineup because they can actually go to it. That's kind of insinuating that you can achieve your dreams. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so, like,
he's just letting all the children out there know that, you can do it. You can achieve it.
That's because Ron sucks. Can we just be honest? That's because Ron sucks. He's a dream killer. That's what Ron is.
It's not a dream if you can make it reality.
You're an enemy of progress, bro. You're an enemy of progress.
You guys aren't doers. You guys are dreamers. That's why Ox wakes up 5 minutes before the stream. That's why Mars sleeps during the stream.
It's summertime.
Like, break, yo. So,
but Mars.
We're doers. Don't do that. All of us up here are doers. And
I just didn't know since we on this subject, and Mars is a 2K guy, and a lot of you guys play 2K. You can turn off fatigue. Like you can determine me not being.
You didn't know that? Yeah, you can turn fatigue off.
Word. So I don't get tired. Is that what we doing?
Yeah, you don't get tired of the game.
What?
So I remember in NBA Live when we was young, we would never play with fatigue. It's like you get your 5, we getting our 5.
That'd be the first thing you do is turn fatigue off.
Wait till Cho finds out about 3-point sliders.
What does that mean?
Yeah, what's that?
I could turn sliders all the way up, so I could be launching half-court shots with Shaq and making them at a hilarious clip.
I can't handle. That's too much for me.
That's crazy.
What's the point in playing the game, y'all? Like what's the point of this? Y'all turning off the fatigue, turning up all the sliders, man.
I want to play with my best 5 the whole time. I don't want to be making subs and all that. My best 5.
You're gonna have to do that. You playing with Philly. Joel got like 58 stamina this year. Shit, ridiculous.
Exactly.
He going down.
You gotta turn fatigue and injuries off when you play with Philly. Yeah. Because chill. Players get hurt in video games. By the way,
not get hurt in video games. Real talk.
Players get hurt in video games.
What is happening right now?
And the hurt animations be crazy. Hey, chill. They'll go through a whole theatrical scene when somebody gets hurt.
Man, if you don't get
but you know what though? I'm not gonna lie. Like in Madden, I did used to turn the sliders up just to play against my little brother, just to make him crash out. Like, you know what I'm saying? When I was like 15, he was like 6. Oh, I used to have him hollering.
So you used to bully a 6-year-old?
I used to bully my little brother as long as I could.
You need sliders to beat a 6-year-old?
No, I can
No,
beat
not
him, but
to
I wanted to
him.
beat him
Yeah,
100
so.
to 0, so he can
Yeah.
just be like running into my mom's room. He won't let me in.
I love that.
That's
He be one of them big brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
absolutely,
me. That's
absolutely.
100%.
He run to go tell my mom I
Yeah.
grab him. You ain't just shut up.
Hey, it makes sense why he be bullying you now.
Mm-hmm.
But Mars, what is your perfect lineup for this team? If you could play just one lineup 48 minutes.
Keyonte, Lauri, Triple J, Nurkic.
Is it because you haven't seen Peterson?
What?
Is it because you haven't seen Peterson?
Oh, I forgot Darren Peterson's on the team. My bad.
I was
Darren
making
Peterson.
sure.
Yeah, I forgot about it.
I was like, maybe he hasn't seen Peterson yet.
Yeah,
I thought you were
forgot
going
Darren
in
Peterson's on the
order.
team.
I thought
Yeah.
you were about to cook with.
Nah, I
Lord
genuinely
looking at the
forgot.
two.
See, even the chat saying Ace. I think we all forgot Darren Peterson on the team.
Speaking of-
Yeah, Darren Peterson. I forgot.
Speaking of, to your point, Mars. Speaking of forgetting, like, what's the plan moving forward with Cody Williams? Because we're in year 3 now.
Hold up.
What are we
That's
doing?
who I forgot.
And Mars,
Let's plan.
Mars, you can look at me crazy. Mars, you can look at me crazy. We
Let's
spent
plan.
the number 10 pick on this guy. Let's stop acting like
No,
that.
You
You
gotta
got
cut your losses.
No.
Yeah,
No.
What are we doing?
That might be a sunk cost.
sometimes you just miss. It is what it is. We don't need to keep investing resources. We just missed. It is what it is. Like there's some people who have come up on the panel. One episode, we brought them up. They ain't have it. We're not gonna keep bringing them back and hoping they figure it out. Like, nah, you just ain't got it. We tried. We move on. Cody Williams, it didn't work.
Man.
Wait,
We
but
move
let's
on.
be
That's
let's
it.
be clear though, Mars. Like it's not like cut the kid. It's just kind of like let him play G
No,
League,
like,
let him keep
yeah,
working. But
he's
we're
just
not gonna
there. We're
keep
not-
throwing him in the
yeah,
lineup.
Exactly. We're not thinking roster construction or lineup construction around Cody Williams. Like you're gonna play in March like you do every year, and people gonna somehow believe in the upside, and you're gonna be in summer league again in year 4. That's what's gonna happen, right? Shout out to Cody Williams.
What's the development of this kid? Like
Oh
so,
no, chill, please, no.
Penn, I'm
Please, bro.
We
This is
can't
what
do
I'm-
this. No,
is what- this
every
is what
time
I'm
a
trying to
player
make sense of.
fails, you're like, yo, we spent a pick on this guy.
a
What are we
high
doing
pick.
with
I
him?
hear a top 10 pick.
I don't
Yeah, it
care.
didn't work.
We can't just go,
Like,
yo,
that
we
is what
missed.
it is.
Like
Yes,
we
we
can't just
can.
go.
Yes,
we
we
missed.
can.
Chill.
The Cavs
Yes,
missed
at
on
this,
How
at
long
this
you watch
point,
the NBA?
The Cavs missed on Anthony Bennett. They realized they packed him up within a year. They knew they missed. It is what it is. Sometimes you just miss.
everybody
Right.
everybody don't got it.
Reinvesting
Chill.
resources because the pick didn't work out, and we just need to try and force it to work out. Sometimes it's not going to work.
Everybody
and Cody
ain't
might
gonna,
have a
everybody
good
ain't gonna
career
get better.
elsewhere. Utah is not going to work. It just clearly isn't going to work.
Chill, you know what? You know what they
chill.
should do?
You ain't
they
never
should
been
take
on
they
a
should
date?
take 2 second rounds and send him to OKC. Let him go play with his brother.
Chill. You ain't ever been on a date where your boy set you up with that girl and he's like, oh, she's fine. But then within like a couple of sentences, you realize that although she may be fine, she might be batshit crazy and she might burn your car down later on. So
Still gonna hit it. Still gonna hit it though, and then just.
I mean,
forget
you
about
might
it.
Like-
you might hit it and quit it, but you ain't gone on the
Yeah.
second date.
I'm
My
old
point
enough to know
is,
better.
like
Right.
at some point, we got to call it quits.
I
Right.
can
I
get
don't
with
got
that.
no.
Mark.
I don't got no good
that-
sense.
that-
I'm
that
still
part-
knocking that down.
But now, Penn, again, and what I'm not trying to do here, guys, is I'm not trying to do a reclamation job with Cody Williams. I'm not doing that at all, right? But we're in year 3. We spent the number 10 pick in the draft on him. He hasn't really shown me any real progress. Not only has he not shown me any real progress, I don't even know what we're doing with him. Is he a defender? Is he a bucket getter? He's clearly not a bucket getter. Is he a defender? Is he a slasher? What exactly is it that we're doing with him? Can he even play?
Cares? We have better players at his position than him right now. If he makes it later, that's his. Look, you don't get forever in the NBA. There's a clock. It starts the second you're drafted. You have 2 years to prove to me that you're someone that I was right to draft. And if you prove to me within 2 years you're not someone right to draft,
Right.
we're probably going to trade you. Or we're going to draft somebody at your position. And guess
Right.
what? They drafted Cody Williams. Then they drafted Ace Bailey. Then they drafted Darren Peterson. Now we got 2 prospects that are way better than you and would have gone way ahead of you in a draft if you were all in the same draft. So the fact that Cody Williams went 10th in a really weak draft, though, Chill,
That's what
it was a historically weak draft. So I hate these weak drafts because they make people think that these players who were picked top 10 would have gone top 10 in another situation. Josh Primo went top 12. The Spurs did not treat him like a top 12 player. You know what I mean?
You say Josh Primo?
Joshua Primo. Y'all remember Joshua Primo?
Yeah.
There's plenty of these guys that he's not going ahead of. But to your point, and again, this is not like this is me dying on the hill. I'm just trying to make sense of what exactly the plan is moving forward with this guy. Are we out on him?
The plan is try to get up to get off of him.
That's what I was about to ask you, real talk. So we out on Cody Williams. That's it. We're done with it.
Did they even pick up his team option?
Yeah. It's the sooner the better.
Well, I think he's got one more year. Because I think he's got one more year before the team option. Or actually, this year is the team option. 26-27.
Yeah, 2 years guaranteed.
He's just he's just been one of the worst players in the NBA his whole career. Like, it is what it is at this point.
All right, so we out on Cody. Cody.
He might figure out. I mean, he is 21. Like, he might figure out. It's just him figuring out is not at the cost of my resources. You just go figure out.
Okay, so the question was, what's our dream lineup? I'm assuming no one got Cody Williams in their dream lineup, right?
This season that just
in my dream 10.
He actually did get better.
He not in my dream 12.
That's a nightmare. If he in the game, season that just I need to wake up.
Unless it's March. March come around, Cody Williams gets to showing flashes.
Okay. Because it's 2K, and I don't care to play Yusuf Nurkic in 2K. Y'all ever played with Yusuf Nurkic in 2K? He's trash. Can't make a layup. So I'm a sub in Ron's guy Ace Bailey for Yusuf Nurkic, and then move Jaren Jackson to the 5. Only in 2K. Because in 2K, I'm the one who controls Jaren Jackson. That's the difference.
So
but in real life,
what are you doing in real
I'm
life?
not. In real life, I obviously am starting Yusuf Nurkic.
Oh, okay.
But he's a trash 2K player. I just want to say that. So, like, in 2K, I'd rather play with Ace Bailey.
Oh, so you starting Filipowski?
Oh, shit, I forgot about Filipowski. See, we all forgot somebody.
I would love to, honestly.
I would. I just look. Shout out to Nurkic. You know what I'm saying? Cool little player. I just feel like their best lineup this year is going to be with him probably off the court. I would just venture to say that.
Well, you could hate Yusuf Nurkic more as if he played in the 90s.
My thing too. If we're talking about first game of the season, Jazz versus I don't know what they're playing, Trailblazers, right? I'm gonna start with Nurkic.
They open up at Memphis. Oh yeah.
Oh, so damn, they starting off 0-1. That's tough.
Yeah. So I mean, regardless who this, I think I'm gonna start the season off with Nurkic at the 5. You know, Triple J, Lauri, Darren Peterson, and Keyonte. You know what I'm saying? I think that would be the proper way to start the season off, and then we just let it play out. We see who's going to earn their minutes. We're going to see who's. I mean, everybody's expendable in that starting lineup except for Lauri Markkinen. You know what I'm saying? Like Lauri's for me, like he's the only guy that's like.
You think Jaren could come off the bench?
Anybody can come off the bench.
Not off that Jazz.
Not at $40 million.
Yeah, but except Lauri Markkinen, apparently.
Because Larry Markkinen is actually the superstar over there. Like,
no, I'm not arguing that Jaren's better than Lauri. I'm arguing in what world would Jaren be coming off the bench? Like,
no world.
If he's just not. Well, I mean, there's definitely a world. It just depends on how he's playing. That's all. All I'm saying is like we're gonna start the season off this way, and then we'll just see what happens. We'll see who's playing.
Who can bump him?
We'll see.
That's
we'll see
basically what I'm asking.
Yeah, we'll see who's playing my style of ball. If it's not working out, we might have to go with. You know, we might got to go smaller. Maybe it's like, Jaren, you're not doing what we need you to do. Okay, maybe instead of bumping him off, you know, we move him to the 5, see what happens. We're gonna give him as many opportunities as possible. And then if he and I'm not saying this is gonna happen, y'all. All I'm saying is like we're gonna start the season, see what happens. You know what I mean? And if it doesn't work, then hey, Filipowski, you come start the 5. Lauri, you're at the 4 now. Ace, you're at the 3. You know what I'm saying? Collier, you're at the. You know, like I think they got enough players for us to not say we have a certain lineup for all 82 games.
See, this is why I said what I said about dreams. There's no way Jaren Jackson comes off the bench.
There is a way if Jaren Jackson isn't playing, if he's not playing good basketball, and I'm not saying
if he's not playing, that's it.
I still think the politics.
I mean, y'all act like y'all ain't never seen Jaren Jackson play weak before. I don't.
It's not. Whoa, hold on. First of all, it's not about him playing weak or not. It's about the contract. They signed him to that contract. They paid him all that money. It's about the asset. They're not bringing him off the bench because they would tank his value. They would piss him off royally. He doesn't want to come off the bench. The only way Lauri Markkanen comes off the only way Jaren Jackson comes off the bench is if he goes to Will Hardy and says, "I want to come off the bench." That's the only way.
Okay, well that's cool. No, I was
also I don't even think it's that big a separation between him and Lauri.
Oh, there's a huge separation. But I was told,
it's not massive.
Okay,
like
okay. Well,
I
was told that I was supposed to be able to like construct my team and give my lineup.
This is your team.
That's all.
World.
That's all I'm doing. I'm just going off of what I was told to do.
What is the separation between Lauri Markkanen and Jaren Jackson as players?
The separation.
What do you think the separation between Jaren Jackson and Lauri Markkanen as players?
Well, it's on the offensive end.
On the offensive end, do you think there's a huge gap?
Buckets.
I think it's massive.
There's a big gap offensively.
So Jaren,
also a huge gap
defensively. Jaren Jackson.
It's huge. However, it's a huge gap.
I
don't like what Jaren Jackson does on the offensive end at all.
I agree.
Like not even I don't like Jaren Jackson. I don't even want him to go on this side of the floor sometimes.
Is it because
what the fuck are you doing out here?
Is it his shots? Because I watched him against Giannis and he goes after Giannis.
I wish they could play Giannis 82 games.
He drags Giannis out. He drags Giannis out to the deep end. He puts that ball in his weak hand. He's got that floater working in the mid post. He's taking Giannis into the middle of the paint. He backs down smaller guys and he gets in that paint and he uses that weak hand. I'd like to see him dunk the basketball a little bit more, but that's not working. But the question, because
he'll hijack the offense.
Are you saying his left hand is his weak hand? Is that what you're saying?
His left hand is actually his weak hand, but he puts the ball in his weak hand a lot, and it works.
Yeah, I thought he was like left-handed as much as he plays with his.
That's what I thought originally. I was like, wait a minute, he's not left-handed.
I know
he hijacks the offense like he's prime Melo.
And
like, bro, come on, dog.
And maybe, do you think that has anything to do with him playing with Ja? Like Ja gave him that confidence to.
I'm not blaming Ja for any of this.
I mean, mind you, once they focused or tailored the offense, was it last year? From like a John-centric offense to, hey, we're going to incorporate Triple J as like the number one option on our team. Number one, they were winning games. And number two, they were the best offenses in the league when they did that. Look, I don't know. Look, Triple J isn't the greatest. They did, Mars. Statistically, they did.
I actually didn't know they were one of the best offenses in the league, but yeah, I'm gonna believe you.
I don't know if it was last year or year before last. One of them years.
It would have been the year before, not last.
I'm not buying that shit at all.
Yeah,
but won some games.
When Triple J is doing the things that Chill said offensively, he does look like a really good offensive player. The problem is that sometimes he gets away from that and then loves the jumper a little bit too much. That he's still not a great 3-point shooter by any stretch of the imagination.
You don't know that.
I mean, but it's still value in being like a stretch big, I guess.
Sure.
But he does fall in love with the jumper a little bit. I do like when he's attacking mismatches and putting smaller players on the block. And then the gap defensively, as far as between him and Lauri, is massive. He's still one of the 10 best defenders in the world.
So now I got my basically my anchor on defense in Jaren Jackson, right? I got my anchor because I wanted to ask Ox with your squad, with your style, with your squad and the group that you have, what kind of schemes are we running here? Because I can tell you right now, Penn, with now having my anchor on defense in Jaren Jackson, and I got a rebounder in Nurkic, I ain't trying to hear this bullshit about us being last in the league in defense again. We better not be, because now this is an effort thing. This isn't just these guys. They just can't play defense. No, because I got an anchor on defense. I got a glass cleaner in Nurkic. I got another 7-footer. So I got a huge lineup. I got guys who will compete. Philip Howsky will compete on defense. Isaiah Collier will compete on defense. Why are we last in the league in defense?
What?
Why?
I mean, by compete, you mean they'll be on that side of the floor. I mean, sure.
See that part right there, Mars? Nope. I'm not trying to hear that shit. We got players on here who can not just compete, can play defense. And I got an anchor. And
what evidence is there that Isaiah Collier?
Yeah, they have players, but Collier and Philip Howsky are not them. But they have players who can play defense. They got Josh Okogie.
Keonte Keyonte is one of the worst defenders in the league. How?
And why is that, Penn? Is it because he can't play defense, or is it the scheme? And because of the scheme, now what that does is that brings down his effort.
Scheme.
It's a lot of optimism to say it's because of the scheme.
Jesus. No, like
That'd be a lot.
Some people are just not good defenders, Chill. Just like some people are not good shooters. But you shouldn't be this bad neither, though, Penn. You shouldn't be this bad as a defender. Well, I mean,
I got their coach.
First of all, the defense is at a perpetual disadvantage.
This is their coach on the sideline. I'm sick of this shit.
Defense is tired of this perpetual disadvantage in the NBA, especially because the offense is so much like the rules favor the offense.
Yep.
The talent favors the offense. There's more offensive talent in the NBA than there's defensive talent. So because the defense is always reacting to the offense, if the offense is like pretty good and your defense is kind of mid, you're going to look horrible. I'm not saying Keyonte George can't go to a local D2 practice and lock up. I'm sure he can. He can come to local YMCA or LA Fitness and probably look like a DPOY.
Sure.
Okay, but I mean, if he went to college basketball, he could hang because he's big and he's strong and he's physical and he could use it as advantages. But when you're guarding Ja Morant and Damian Lillard on the other side, everyone's going to look like a pretty bad defender unless you're objectively a good defender like Drew Holiday. And you need to have physical gifts and you need to have talent and you need to have lateral quickness. You need to have big hands. Like what did Kawhi say the other day when he was in Wuhan, China? He's like, I'm doing this because I got long arms and big hands.
Sure.
You can't. So it's partially it's physical. And then, obviously no one has ever confused Keyonte George with a good defender at any point in his life. Maybe high school.
Right.
But like he wasn't a great defender at Baylor either. So if you're not a great defender, like if you're not locking up like Davion Mitchell or Fred VanVleet in college and you're a little bit undersized for your position, how the hell are you supposed to guard?
He's 6'4", so he's a big guard. He's not a small dude. 6'4".
That's not like, so I mean, that's a decent size. But then now the opposing guard is Shea. Boom, you're undersized. Ooh, it's Luka. Boom, you're undersized.
But I'm not asking you to shut down Shea. I'm not asking you to shut down.
No one's shutting these guys down.
That's the point that I'm saying. But here's the problem that I'm having, Penn. The problem that I'm having is that why are you this bad on defense? I can appreciate you getting your ass kicked by Shea. I can appreciate you getting your ass kicked by Damian Lillard. Why are we this bad when my coach is on the sideline screaming, I am sick of this shit?
Frame it the other way. Why is he supposed to be good?
More than anything.
Frame it the other way. Why is he supposed to be good? What's his advantage? What is his advantage defensively? If you ask me, what's Drew Holiday's advantage defensively? What's Lou Dort's advantage defensively?
I don't think Jill was saying that he should be like a good defender.
I'll agree that I don't think he should be terrible, but he's not going to be good. He could try with his life on the line. He's never going to be a good defender in the NBA.
I mean, it's too early in his career to make that assumption.
No, it's not.
It is.
Okay, how about this? Real talk. If you can think of any player in NBA history that has been even close to as bad as Keyonte George for the first 2-3 years of their career and then turned around to be a good defender in the NBA, I would love to hear it. Who is that player? There's no player in NBA history that's ever done this.
I'm not asking you to be a good defender, but I'm also not asking. But I'm also asking for you not to be this bad. And this bad is primarily because of the effort. You can't tell me that this guy doesn't know how to get in a stance, that this guy doesn't know how to fight over a screen, that this guy doesn't know how to navigate a screen, that this guy doesn't know how to move his feet. He understands defense. Now, if he's not playing, there's a difference between not playing defense.
But why are you saying he knows these things? What's the evidence that he does? You're just saying he knows it. Trae Young, does he know these things? He still sucks.
Okay, but there's it. But with Trae though, the difference with hold on, the reason why that's not the same.
And I'm saying you can't just say he knows things with no evidence to prove he knows the things that you're saying he knows.
But actually, there is evidence because you've seen him move his feet. You've seen him get around. Mars, you've seen him get around.
Joe, you ever see me move my feet?
He's not dying on every screen.
I've seen Ben Simmons make a three.
Okay, sure, you have seen Ben.
So now I'm gonna be like, oh, why is Ben Simmons not just shooting threes?
Why is he not shooting more threes, Mars?
Because he can't shoot.
But you've seen him make a three. You've seen him do it.
You need to stop taking four examples of someone doing something and say that
no.
That's not how life works.
That's not the point that I'm making, Mars. The point that I'm making is
I've watched someone beat me in an argument. That they're gonna lose 9 times out of 10.
Trae Young. With Trae Young.
What are you feeling like today, young man?
With Trae Young,
put some respect.
With Trae Young, not with Trae Young.
Don't care about that Nash MVP.
With Trae Young not being physical, with Trae Young not being, there's a difference between Trae Young not being able to play defense, Trae Young not being physically able to play defense, and Trae Young just not being good at defense. Trae Young actually does play defense. He just ain't good at it. Keyonte George, on the other hand, you guys, you're telling me not only is he not good at it, he doesn't even play defense. Like, what's happening right now? And the problem again that I'm having, rewind the clock back to Will Hardy, when Will Hardy is screaming on the sideline that he is sick of this. What is he sick of? He's not sick of guys not being good defensively. He's sick of the effort. Because as a coach, Ox can attest to this as a coach. Ox will commend effort more than a guy who can't do something and ain't giving me effort. Why is he on the floor? Like, this guy, I'm getting my ass kicked, but I'm at least trying. I'm giving you effort here.
Chill. Mars asked me a question before, and I think there's a difference though between levels, especially levels at high school and NBA.
Sure.
If Mars asked me a question, I answered it before. He asked, would I rather have a guy that gives effort or a guy that's just better? And at that level of basketball, the better player got to play. You know what I mean?
I can get with that. That part I can
get
with.
This level, at the high school level, at the youth level, it's if you're working hard, you're on the floor. If you're giving effort, if you're competing, I can find some minutes for you. But I do feel like at that level of basketball, and the NBA level, it's just different. And that's just my opinion. I mean, obviously, Coach Hardy, is the
that part I get. I'm not arguing that point. The point that I'm arguing is, why are these guys this bad on defense with their coach complaining about what he's complaining? It looks to me like their coach is complaining.
They're bad compared to they're bad.
They're a bad team. They're a bad I don't expect Keyonte George to be Chauncey Billups next year. Like, no.
Me neither.
But the fact that like we be doing that, we do this to these young players. We're like, oh, they're terrible defenders. We did the same thing with like LaMelo, or why is LaMelo not winning in Charlotte? It's like, it's Utah. They've been actively losing basically his entire career. The plan has been to lose.
It's only been a couple.
So when you're on you're playing, but what I'm saying, when you're playing on a team like that, your defensive attention to detail probably isn't going to be high. This is going to be the first year of Keyonte George's career where he's going to be coming on a serious NBA team who has serious expectations, and they're going to be they're going to be trying to play real winning basketball for 82 games.
The key word is trying.
I don't think that's fair though.
One more time, Ron.
I don't think that's fair though. I think that's more so about the person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do hear what you're saying, and I think that like that's true for a lot of people. So I just think we got to understand. Did you do that on purpose?
Give you a take.
Oh, okay. I do think. You take me off the big screen, bro. That threw me off. Man. I'm not finna say nothing profound. I'm just talking ball.
My bad.
But no. So no. I just think that it's about the person, though. You know what I mean? Like, I think we've all been around like people where. So you might have a guy. So we'll talk to your point. You said that they're not winning, so you're not sure if he's paying that attention to detail as far as doing the right things. It's all about who he is. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. But we also know, and to your point, Chill, we also know guys, at every level, but especially at this higher level, we know there's guys where it's like, man, coach out there talking about playing defense, man. Fuck all that, man. I'm shooting this from three. You know what I'm saying? What you think I'm gonna be trying to stay in front of Kyrie all night, man? Fuck all that, man. We got a game tomorrow in Denver. I'm not about to be chasing Kyrie and then go chase Jamal. Man, I ain't come here to play no defense. We know it's dudes like that.
Yeah, but guess what?
Now,
if he owned that this year, hey, we just drafted Darren Peterson. You can go sit your ass down. We got another guard that come in here and get some buckets.
And on top of that,
that's fair too.
Ain't he playing for a contract this year too? Like, I think his deal.
No, I'm saying like this is gonna be his first real NBA team experience. Yeah. Welcome to the NBA, Keyonte. Yes, it's not because he has been also to the lack of defense. He was like their best offensive player last year. So now he has that much offensive responsibility on a bad team where Lauri's not playing some of the half the time. Yeah, I'm not going to be playing defense. That's probably what's going to be happening.
Unfortunately, real talk, and this being the game that we love, and this supposed to be the best league in the world, what he's been doing in Utah is absolutely the NBA experience. Unfortunately.
What do you mean, Ox?
I mean, we know that that's rampant in the NBA. Teams not trying, best players not playing, guys not caring. You know what I'm saying? Just tanking. Like they're still gonna this team's still gonna tank. Like, yeah, I know you're supposed to compete. They're still gonna find ways to try to cheat the system and not go out there and try your hardest. It's, unfortunately, real talk, that is the NBA experience sometimes too.
Yo, fellas, Penn, I'm gonna step in before we go too far down Keyonte's defensive rabbit hole.
I was about to say something profound.
He does play for the Jazz, Ron, who we're covering today.
Yeah, but I want to start from square one though, because before we actually, I mean, we have talked about him, but before we go any further, I want Mars to give us the receipts of who's now on the team, and we talked a little bit about it, who they lost, and what they're actually looking like right now. So who they draft, who they trade for, all of that stuff. What are the Jazz actually looking like as a roster?
They drafted Darren Peterson with the number 2 pick. And then the guys they brought in, they got Jackson Hayes from the Lakers in free agency. He replaced Walker Kessler, who they lost. They also got Mo Bamba. So another big.
Mohamed Bamba?
Mm-hmm.
They did, yes. We just spoke about it. They got Josh Okogie. They brought in Trey Alexander, I believe, on a 2-way. And then a couple more lesser players like Tamar Bates and Harrison Ingram. They also brought in Oscar Tshiebwe went to Houston, so they lost him. Kevin Love, I believe, is going to leave. I don't think they're bringing him back. Walker Kessler, obviously, they lost. They lost EJ Harkless and Hayden Gray. So they didn't. The biggest loss they had was obviously Walker Kessler, Kevin Love, Tshiebwe, but they replaced them with Jackson Hayes, Mo Bamba, and then Darren Peterson being their big acquisition.
So does everybody believe that this team got better?
I think they did.
Yeah, obviously.
I definitely think they did. With the addition of Peterson, yes.
Got to see what the young fella does. Shout out to everything he did at Kansas, and shout out to everything he did in the summer league.
Mm-hmm.
Got to see the young fella play some NBA basketball, and then
they're better just off the fact that Walker Kessler only played 5 games last year anyway. So you losing him doesn't mean you didn't lose him, if that makes sense. Like you never even had him.
He wasn't even on the crew. Yeah, you didn't have him anyway.
Like the players they lost weren't really shout out to Kevin Love, but when you replace Kevin Love with a Josh Okogie, Jackson Hayes, who at this point are probably better NBA players than him, that's an upgrade. And then you get Darren Peterson, who's replacing the void of Walker Kessler that actually didn't exist last year. They're just better just off that alone, in my opinion.
So that brings me now to the state of this franchise. Where is this franchise at right now? What's their actual direction moving forward? Like, what are they building around something? What should their plan be? If you guys are the coach, the GM, what are you thinking right now?
They cannot get a top 5 pick. So that is number one.
Why not though, Penn?
Because the lottery odds have been adjusted and they picked, and it applies retroactively. So they picked top 5 in the last 2 years. They got Ace Bailey at 5, if you recall, and then Darren Peterson. So you can't pick top 5 in 3 years. So that pick that they sent out, that pick cannot actually convey as a top 5 pick. So they have no incentive to tank. So they want to be good. And they knew they wanted to be good when they traded for Jaren Jackson.
Yeah.
So that's important. To the point of what is the direction? Up. Because you can't go any further down.
So
that's right. They were last in the Western Conference last year.
So
20 wins, I believe. 22.
Yes, 22 wins. Yes,
I think everything right now is on Darren's timeline. I understand that Lauri Markkanen is a superstar, according to some people up here, but he is also close to 30. And
so
the next time the Utah Jazz are going to be good.
That's all. Remember Marcus Smart.
Yeah, yes, chill. In NBA terms, for non-superstars, 30 is on the approaching side of old.
What is that non-superstar?
So when the Utah Jazz are good, Lauri Markkanen will probably be the second or third best player on that team after a consolidation trade, or he won't be on the team. The point is, right now, we've been bad for 3 years. Since we traded Rudy Gobert and Spider Mitchell, we've been terrible. And we've been trying to get that franchise talent in the draft. Every year we try, every year we fail. But we picked up some good pieces along the way, and now we finally got our star. We got the guy that we put on the posters. We got the guy that we want to hand the keys to. And now It's just a race to see how long he's going to take to actually ascend to that level. If he
Right.
shows early that, oh, I'm here, expect trades very quickly.
So
Expect some trades.
what does that mean for the Jazz moving forward, though? So if we're expecting it, who are they building this unit around? Who is their foundational piece? Is it George? Is it Market? So it's not Market. So it's
Darren
Darren Peterson is their foundational piece. Just like I had said with Maxey and VJ. So they building this unit around George and Peterson, or they just building it around
And Ace too. You could throw
It's
Ace in
Peterson.
there as well.
It's Darren Peterson.
Darren Peterson, like, chill. To put this into context,
Sure.
not all top 2 picks are the same. Okay, there's top 2 picks like Cooper Flag, where if you get them, it's their team immediately.
Sure.
And then there's top 2 picks like Anthony Bennett, where you get them and then you wait and see what happens. Darren Peterson would have gone top 3, I think, in every single draft in NBA history as a prospect. Just about every single draft in NBA history, that's a top 3 pick. Maybe 2003, he's the 4th pick. My point is, this is a franchise cornerstone. Whether he turns into that or not, as of right now, based on how the Jazz are looking at this player, that's what he is. That's what AJ DeBonsa is for the Washington Wizards. So you hand him the keys and you give him a lot of runway. This is not Cody Williams, where it's like, oh, he had a bad summer league and one bad month. Fuck him. We're not really in that place with Darren Peterson. With Darren Peterson, this is the type of star talent prospect that warrants a long runway, like 2 years, 3 years. Hand him the keys, see what's up, see who fits with him. Oh, Keyonte George doesn't work? Keyonte George, goodbye. Oh, Ace Bailey, that's his favorite teammate? Ace Bailey, here's your contract extension. I've seen this happen way too many times. When you get one of these guys, when you get a Cade Cunningham, when you get, one of those guys, you build around that player. So now I got to think about which of these players fit. And luckily for the Jazz, a lot of their existing players actually do fit with what Darren Peterson does. I think Keyonte George fits because Darren Peterson's a good defender. Keyonte George and Darren Peterson would not fit if Darren Peterson was a bad defender. I think Jaren Jackson and Lauri Markkanen fit because they can shoot. So I think this Utah Jazz team actually makes a lot of sense. I think they're going to be really fun to watch.
That's why I think that they're a playoff team, because I think that Darren Peterson
I didn't go that far.
That's why I think they're a playoff team, because I think that Darren Peterson gives them that element that they didn't have, that 2 guard that plays off the ball, plays with the ball, plays off the ball, can be a bucket getter, can also supplement your defense, can also protect a guy like Keyonte George, and can protect a guy like Keyonte George. In addition to being able to do that, your front line is much better this year than it was last year. So I think he's the missing piece to what they were trying to do. I think that they had some good players, and I just think that the effort, more than anything, needs to change. And a fun fact for you, real talk, since the Utah Jazz got to Utah in the 1979-1980 season, these are how many years they've missed the playoffs before they made it. They've never gone missing the playoffs more than 4 years in a row. And interestingly enough, this season that just passed was year 4 that they missed the playoffs.
Chill. I admire your hope.
That streak about to end.
Yeah, chill. I admire your hope, but I think we are reaching with this team.
Why are we reaching? Why can't they be good?
Wait till we get to the Washington Wizards preview. I'm going to say the same
well,
thing.
good
They
and
can
making
be
the
okay.
playoffs.
They can be okay. They won 22 games last year.
And the San Antonio
They
Spurs
did that
won
on
22
purpose.
games.
We don't
So
like
what?
that's irrelevant.
And the
Where's
San Antonio
Victor
Spurs
Wembanyama here?
I will say the
They
Jazz
lost on
like,
purpose.
So
yeah,
what?
the Jazz have played Lauri Markkanen in like 5 games in the last 7
And
games.
Keyonte George missed the last month of the season.
But that's the point I'm making. And Lauri Markkanen played 42 games, so he played half the season last year. But what I'm saying, though, is the culture is in the gutter. You can't just revamp the culture in over a 3-month offseason. Lauri Markkanen is your best player. He's never played a playoff game. I'm going to say that one more time for the people in the cheap seats, the people in the back room, because your best play, he's never made it out of the regular season. As a third option, a fourth option, a bench player, a rookie. And so I expect him to lead this team to the playoffs. I'm not buying it. I'm not. Like, maybe they take a step and potentially get in the play-in this year, and then next year we can be talking about it. So what? We're projecting this team to go from 22 wins, and I know it was a fake 22 wins. They wanted to do that on purpose. So we're projecting them to go from 22 wins
Their
to
best player played half the season. Their second best player, when they traded for him, they sat him. He had surgery.
Ron,
we haven't seen this team, and you're talking about,
and that's the point that I'm making.
But that's not a valid point, though, Ron.
Why is it not a valid point?
We don't see bad teams get good all
the time. All the time. All the time. Ron, can you tell everybody here how many playoff games Wemby played before last season?
Oh, come on.
Zero.
No, that's his stance. No. I am doing this, Ben, because that's his stance. His stance is marketing has never been in the playoffs.
How old is Wemby?
That's not the point. The point
is
Wemby did get substantially better in a way that I guess Lauri did.
Well, and you know what's interesting, Mars? And it's interesting that you bring that up, Mars. The Utah Jazz, with the number 2 pick in the draft Darren Peterson from the University of Kansas, which makes them substantially better than what they were last year.
Because now it makes them a 28-win team. Yeah. Now I don't entirely agree with Ron, but I do like. We just spoke about how the Jazz haven't been playing defense because they've been playing on serious basketball, and like there's nothing to play for, so guys aren't motivated. Like it is hard to just break all the bad habits you've built losing on purpose in one off season. Like it's not something you just flip a switch like, oh yeah, I'll try now. Like that sounds better, but like it's not that easy to do that. I'm not saying they won't do it, but I do understand if someone's pessimistic because they think, oh yeah, they just can't flip a switch and just turn into this team when they've been actively doing everything to build bad habits to lose. I understand that.
When you watch Utah, when we watch Utah damn near every single season at the beginning of the season, they're competing. They're in these games. Even with some of their lesser players playing, they're in these games. They're still one of the hardest teams to beat on the road, still to this day. And they're a bad team.
They do have the altitude.
They've been great at home.
That's all they got. They got altitude.
Cool. Their offense has been great every single year. We see Utah start the season. They're competing. They win some games. They get to win it too much a little bit. They say, hey, shut this shit down. We're going to lose on purpose. And then Ron is going to come up here and be like, oh, they only won 22 games. Yeah, on purpose. They're intentionally losing.
Look, first off, I'm not buying that on purpose stuff. If you losing, you losing. Because if they could have won, but here's why I'm saying this, because if they could have won on purpose, they would have won on purpose too. And if they did lose on purpose,
but they weren't going to win enough to be good, so they said let's tank.
But see, that even goes more to my point though. If you're that bad to the point where you're like, we're so bad, we're just going to lose on purpose. It's just I'm not buying that they're going to be able.
But that's not what's going on this year.
Yeah, and they're going to try. They're going to try to win and still lose.
Okay. First of all, everybody knows in a locker room we're trying to lose. When you start trading away your good players, start asking Lauri Markkanen to not play back-to-backs, everybody understands. So when everybody understands, a lot of things happen. You stop playing defense as much. People start looking around like, oh, we're trying to lose. I guess if I want to keep my job, I better not play too hard. My point is, there's 3 steps in NBA, in every NBA team. You got to learn how to practice, you got to learn how to play, and you got to learn how to win. And those 3 things are not the same, right? So every young team got to go through this. Now, I don't see Utah Jazz practices. For all I know, Will Hardy runs amazing practices, and all these young players are picking up great habits in practice. They're picking up full court in practice. But when it comes to the game, all you need is one really weak link. And they have a lot of weak links. Ace Bailey last year, weak link. Cody Williams, weak link. Isaiah Collier, weak link. Kyle Filipowski, defensively.
So did they get it right in the draft with Ace Bailey or not? Did they get it right or not?
There's one, yeah.
Me personally, I wouldn't have picked him, but he's talented. They got it wrong
he's talented. So they got it wrong with him because this is the bullshit that you guys jump on me with. But you guys jump on me with this, and when I start to talk about the fact that we got it wrong with Cody Williams, we got it wrong with Ace Bailey. Who's running this thing?
I mean, I don't think they got it wrong with Ace Bailey. I don't
think so neither, Mark. But this dude is telling me that we got it wrong with Ace Bailey. We got it wrong with Cody Williams. We got it wrong with Isaiah. Like, who's running this thing?
I mean, okay, first of all, you bet on lengthy wing with shot making ability profile. Like this could work out. Like Ace Bailey is obviously a different level of prospect than Cody Williams. No offense to Cody Williams. That being said, you picked him over a lot of players who, in my opinion, are probably going to be better. So
Right.
I think you got it wrong. I think Colin Murray-Boyles is going to be better.
Of course, you think that. Absolutely.
It's not. Of course, I think that. I watched the playoffs.
You said a lot of players.
If Colin Murray-Boyles played for the Cavs, you wouldn't be saying that. But he coincidentally plays for.
And we've also got to be like realistic. Like,
why do you project your own bias onto me? Like, I like.
I don't have to do that, Penn. You do it yourself. Like, you could have brought up anybody else, but you brought up Colin Murray-Boyles.
So I brought up the best player picked after him. So I'm wrong.
Enough.
Yeah, because you don't watch the Raptors. You don't know what you're talking about.
That's not true, because I actually do watch the Raptors. I might not watch them as much as you do, but I do watch the Raptors. But
tell me two things I don't know about Colin Murray-Boyles.
I just want to know the lot of players. I don't know how we got here. Like.
So I think Kaman Malowich is a long-term prospect. I don't know if he's definitely going to be better than Ace Bailey, but I think I would have taken that swing over Ace Bailey. Yegor Diemen is I mean, I've seen tremendous growth in him over the last year. Why are you laughing?
Those are the three names you run to. I'm expecting you to come with a home run. Yegor, CMB, and who's the third name?
Those were the players picked pretty much directly after him. You want me to say
easy to forget him.
Hold on. You want me to say Jeremiah Fears? So you have a player that you like that you can see. Look at his face. Look at his face. See, basically, if I
still got Ace Bailey though, but Jeremiah Hyde though.
Okay, see,
I don't think any of those
habits are hard to break, Ron.
Utah got it
habits are really hard to break. You've been losing for a while. It's hard to break. See, you've been out hosting for a while. See, for the first 50 minutes of this podcast,
and you've been glazing, jocking, gawking, and sucking everything out of Toronto, and you're still sucking right now with this take. You're sucking with this take. We want to know the names,
dude. I'm lower on RJ Barrett than everybody up here.
We want to know the names, Mars.
And he's literally Canadian. I'm not biased towards a player just because they play for the Raptors. I happen to like Jacoby Watson.
You're not Canadian, so
there you go. I am.
I would just like to say this. So the last team that we saw, because I wanted to look into it, the Houston Rockets in the 2022-23 season won 22 games. At the 23-24 season, they jumped up to 41. Okay? In my opinion, this Utah team is better than that 23-24 Rocket team.
What was the difference between the 2023 and 2014?
I'm pretty sure that was Ime's first season.
That was Dylan Brooks, Fred VanVleet, Ime Udoka, and it took them going on an 11-game winning streak in March to get to 500.
But also by the way,
wait. We're finna have an influx of our best player playing more games and Lauri Markkanen. And then we're also going to have Triple J playing this season as well. So me, they are better than Fred VanVleet and Dylan Brooks.
I don't know. They're not. No, they're not.
Okay, yeah,
being better doesn't necessarily, and I tell this to you guys all the time. Just because you're more skilled in a better player doesn't mean you're going to have better results on winning. Fred VanVleet, NBA champion. Dylan Brooks, we talked about him yesterday. We know what he does to culture. He's a culture shifter. He is a floor riser or a ceiling lifter when it comes to culture. Jaren Jackson Jr. isn't that. He relied on Dylan Brooks to be that.
Ime as well.
Jaren Jackson relied on Dylan Brooks to put the battery in his back. Who's going to put the battery in his back in this team?
So I did not rely on. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You rely on Dylan Brooks to put a battery in his back.
But I don't think Ron is very far off of what he's saying. I still think the Jazz are going to be better.
Triple J's been a winning player his entire career.
He's been a winning player. What do you do after Dylan Brooks?
What did the
what do you do?
Wait. After Dylan left Memphis, they were clearly going this way. After Dylan left,
their best player got worse. If anything, the evidence shows
left.
No, well, how come Triple J wasn't their best player?
He was on
their best player.
The evidence is Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks maybe put a battery at John Morant's back. If you want to say that, Triple J's been basically the same player. For years.
And what has it resulted in? I'm telling you, with Jaren Jackson Jr. and Lauri Markkanen, with Jaren Jackson and Lauri Markkanen, I don't believe in this franchise not one bit. Lauri Markkanen is the king, the emperor, the epitome of empty stats. Yes, you're gonna. And it's been a while since we talked
Losing
about
me.
this.
Now he's
All right.
losing me.
No,
Now you're jumping off the cliff, Ron.
I'm not. Lauri Markkanen.
Wait, but look,
he's giving us buckets.
Can we find some middle ground?
Also, too, we overrate the hell out of Lauri Markkanen. For a guy that's made one All-Star team, he got that MIP.
Can't make an All-Star team. This ain't nothing about making an All-Star team.
We have to do a better job as
what?
a basketball community and a basketball show. If there are people that follow us that are saying that Dillon Brooks has a bigger impact on the basketball court than Triple goddamn J. No, he does not. No, he doesn't.
But why not though?
He does not.
Let me slow that. It might not be a bigger impact. What I said is a bigger impact on winning. Like Jaren Jackson is, yes, he's a better player. Lauri's a better player too. And Lauri's a better player too. But
I'm just low
that, once again, that doesn't mean that you're going to tip the scale in terms of winning and doing the things that's necessary for a team to be better. Once again, Lauri's going to get his buckets.
Are you saying he impacts the culture more?
No, he impacts winning more.
Ron, you call. I think. See, this is the problem. This is the problem. Y'all say when a guy's a good basketball player with inferior players on his team, y'all say that the dude has empty stats. But if a guy's a good basketball player and he has other guys,
you talking about Ryan?
Wrong. And you got other guys on the team that can help you win games, then all of a sudden they're not empty stats. I need y'all to chill out with the empty stats, empty calories thing when it comes to basketball, and you're not thinking about all the players that you're playing with. That's where y'all lose me with the on-off numbers and shit like that. But hold on though, because wait. See, first of all, Ron, I disagree with you. I disagree with you in the fact that this Utah Jazz team isn't going to be a good team. I think they're going to be a good team. I don't know where they're going to be. See, in this 30 teams in 30 days segment we're doing, I'm trying to stay away from ranking teams and what seed they're going to be because I don't know. I need 15 games into the season until we can kind of start getting into some of that. But what I will say, Ron, is I do think that you're right when you're talking about guys that are winners. I think M.A., Fred VanVleet, I think Dillon Brooks is a winner. I think these dudes really drive winning. Regardless of what you guys say about their skill set, whatever it may be, I think those are three guys that you can put in a franchise and you know they're going to help us win basketball games. But I don't think we can deny that the Utah Jazz clearly got better. Now, you're right about the fact that you can't just change your culture overnight, but I do think when you look in your locker room, you look to the left of you, you look to the right of you, and you see, oh, shit, we got him over here now. Oh, shit, that's Darren Peterson. I've seen that kid before. You know, you got this guy. I think that does help the culture like, well, wait, we can actually compete now. I got some dogs with me. That's Triple J. He was a defensive player of the year. He's one of the better defenders in the league. You know what I'm saying? When you look at it that way, I do think that starts the shift of culture when you look around your locker room and realize I got some guys that can really go. You know, I think we gotta find some middle ground, y'all. We need a little balance here. And to your point, real talk, I think it is a good idea for us to, talk about ball in a way that everybody can realize Dillon Brooks may not be as good as Triple J, but we can also talk about Dillon Brooks is a winner, bro. He's been a winner since he was at Oregon. I think when he left Memphis, I think there was a clear shift in things over there.
So I want to say this. So last year, as far as impact, bettering your unit, Dillon Brooks, the Phoenix Suns, ladies and gentlemen, were a better offense and defense when that nigga wasn't on the court.
Oh,
sure.
See, this is when I know you niggas wasn't even watching Phoenix. You niggas wasn't watching Phoenix because all y'all saw was Dillon Brooks.
This has nothing to do with you watching. This is some on-off number shit.
No, I'm talking about Ron. What Ron was seeing was, Dillon Brooks got these games where he got 20-some points. Yeah, but he also did on 20-some shots. Last year, Jaren Jackson Jr., on the Boo-Boo Grizzlies, the Grizzlies were 8 points better defensively with Triple J on the court. He is still one of the most impactful defensive players in the league today. You combine that with the fact that Keyonte George and Lauri Markkanen on the court last year had a 119 offensive rating. They are one of the 7 best offenses last year with Keyonte and Lauri on the court, and then you're adding one of the best defensive players on this team. It's not a far assumption to make that, okay, you combine usually when they're playing all of their players, and we know Will Hardy, every year we come up here and say Will Hardy is one of the best offensive coaches in the league. Every year we say that. You combine that with one of the best defensive players in the world joining that team. If they play the games, they're going to be a far better team than they were last year. Far better.
Ron, why
far
you,
better
Ron,
is
I think
that's
it's very-
far-fetched.
What I'm trying to make sense of
want to talk about this Dylan
what I'm trying to make
Brooks
sense
thing
of with Ron is Ron talks about the empty stats. Ron, just so we clear, Lauri Markkanen, the last 3 seasons, he has played less than 10 games the last half of the season. They shut him down. So we don't get to see what he looks like the entire season, as opposed to if he played 80 games, if he played 75 games,
Chill.
how much better this team
Ron,
would be.
They shut him down, Ron, because they don't want to win games. Because they
That's
know
not-
Lauri will win some games.
I want everybody to hear me out and hear me clearly. We haven't just seen Lauri Markkanen on Utah. Lauri Markkanen is going into year 10.
Lauri
This
was
is his-
great in Cleveland.
This is his
late-
10th. I'm
but
not
he's a-
saying Lauri is trash. I'm not saying Lauri is weak.
Ron, you
Those
said-
words
you
never
said
came out of my
empty
mouth.
stats. You said
Lauri can
empty.
get,
What if you
Lauri
got-
if
can
you got
get
empty stats, then you're
buckets.
sorry.
No.
So what is
that's
it- what
what
does
you
that mean,
guys may
Ron?
think.
No,
what,
Ron, what does
I'm
that
saying,
mean?
what
What
I'm
does
saying,
that mean?
Lauri's going. He's probably going to average 25 again this year. Lauri going to get to it.
Ron,
But it's
Lauri was
just-
great in
it-
Chicago.
It's not gonna be great, but it's not gonna lead to anything. Just like it hasn't in the past. I have a 10-year. We don't do this with anybody else.
Ron,
They give us a 10-year sample
why has
size?
it led to something in the past?
Why
Are you
calories empty?
looking at the rosters? Are you looking at the teams he's playing with? Are you looking at the organizations at all? Are you just looking at the fact?
Zach LaVine don't get no pass for this.
Zach,
Well,
then
nobody
that's-
other
okay,
than
well,
you,
let's
Ox. Other than you, Ox. Nobody up here will give Zach LaVine a pass.
Okay, but we're not talking about
give-
anybody else. We're talking about
I'll
Lauri
give
Markkanen.
Chicago Zach LaVine a pass.
Let's not do. You know what? You know what I'm getting tired of nowadays is this whataboutism shit. Okay, we're talking about Lauri Markkanen. Let's focus on
And I'm
Lauri
giving you
Markkanen.
other examples of players like Lauri Markkanen.
Wait.
That shit, yes, you're going to get your 20 and your teams go
Let's just focus on Lauri. What about you're talking about? What about this guy? What about that guy? What about the guys on his roster? Let's talk about the roster and talk about the reasons why Lauri Markkanen hasn't been to the playoffs. You think Lauri Markkanen is the reason his teams aren't making the playoffs because he's just empty stats?
Yeah, but see, Ox, and this is where I'm going. I'm glad you asked that. So now I'm going to completely land this plane with Lauri Markkanen as your best player.
Crashing the plane isn't landing the plane.
Hey, it's on the ground. Lauri Markkanen as your best player is not a recipe for team success. It hasn't been in the past. It's not going to be in the current, and it's not going to be in the future. Now, once again, if Lauri was to go to like Miami, if Lauri was to go up to Toronto, if Lauri was to go and play with Luka for the Lakers.
Who are you to say that? Sengun was the best player on a 50-win team.
But do you know what's the difference between that team and this team?
Whoa.
He had a
Kevin
team
Durant's
full
better
of
than Sengun.
defenders. No, even before that.
So
the
now
team-
you're talking about the
before
roster
la-
construction.
they
Thank
won
you, Ron.
50
games
If
before
Lauri
last
Let's discuss the roster
if Lauri Markkanen
Yeah,
went to
they did
Charlotte,
in the West.
if Lauri Markkanen went to Charlotte, as a matter of fact, we don't even got to do that because now with the Jazz. So this is the year right here, Ron. I think Lauri has a competent team around him right now. You know what I'm saying? If Darren Peterson is who Darren Peterson should be or could be or we think he's going to be, I think you'll see some winning behind Lauri's stats. If Lauri Markkanen was on a team like Charlotte, I don't know.
can go with Charlotte.
Okay,
last season.
Charlotte.
Yeah, I
Okay,
can go with
so
that.
if he was on a team like that, I do think that adds another 8 wins to Charlotte's record. You know what I'm saying? And then that's a playoff team. You can't judge in basketball. We have this talk all the time. We can't keep judging one. We can't judge one player for a whole team's success or failure.
Ron, this isn't a gotcha moment, Ron. I just want you to know, Ron, 2 weeks before the play-in tournament, just 2 weeks on April the 1st, April Fool's Day, the Utah Jazz go up against the Denver Nuggets. Real talk. They trot out Cody Williams, Ace Bailey, Sensabaugh, Filipowski, Oscar Swiebe. Their rotation is Kennedy Chandler, John Conchar, and Benz, whoever the hell that is. They wasn't serious. They wasn't serious, Ron.
Respect Oscar Tshiebwe.
They wasn't
Okay.
serious.
Okay.
They were not serious, Ron.
This conversation is ridiculous because we have the person who's the lowest on Jaren Jackson debating the person who's the high, Lauri debating the person who's the highest on Lauri. But somewhere in the middle is a really good player. The question I would ask is, if Lauri is your best player, who is your second best player and you're competing for championships? And the answer is nobody. Because
thank you, Penn.
It's not true.
Nobody saying anything about
I do believe. Hold on, I do believe.
Nobody saying anything about the Larry O'Brien.
Well, if they're trying to win, then they're competing to win at the highest level. Like, there's no team in the NBA. There's no team in the NBA that wants to win.
I didn't say
NBA are satisfied being good teams.
There's no team in it. But if you're trying to win, you're trying to win every single game, right? So they're not just trying to win. But no, because here's the thing. They're not. So real talk. So what you're trying to say is. So what you're trying to say is.
Lost me about 25 minutes ago.
So what you're trying to say is they're going to win 44 games and say, "Ooh, we reached our ceiling. Let's start losing again." No, they're gonna try to win as much as possible. Nobody's. Of course, they're not gonna win a championship. They might not believe they're gonna win a championship, but they're gonna try to win as much as possible. Since according to you guys, they want to win, right?
Damn.
Correct.
Yeah, but
Ronnie, are you toxic like this all the time? Do you just run around your life being toxic and gaslight people all day?
I don't understand. Hold on,
what is your problem,
you guys. I'm trying to find. I'm trying to figure out.
Do you just not have good faith conversations or arguments at all?
I'm having a good faith conversation. You guys are saying they're gonna win, and now when I say that they're gonna win, now all of a sudden it's no.
Ron, in this 30-day segment, we're going to talk about 5, maybe 6, maybe 7 teams that are fighting for a championship.
No, let's just stay with the Utah Jazz, like you said. No, let's not talk about these other teams. Let's talk about the Utah Jazz.
See what I'm saying?
Hang on. I regret saying
I'm not talking to you no more, bro. We got an hour and 45 minutes left. I'm just not speaking to you at all. No more. I'm cool,
what Ox said was we're going to talk about 5 to 7
I'm out on Ron. Chill. I'm out on Ron.
Oh, for fuck's sake, man.
You were saying,
we need to move
Go
on.
ahead, Penn.
As you were saying.
Oh my God, take a deep breath. Take this stick out. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. Shit.
Where's the stick at?
Enjoy yourself.
Hey, Ron, you pipe down over there, Ron.
We got one life to live. Take a deep breath. Let your hair down. Enjoy yourself.
Absolutely. Penn, you were making a point, sir. As you were saying, Penn, you were making a point.
Take a pill, man. All right. So if you say 5 to 7 teams that are on a championship team. Now I said there's 7. Okay, so I regret saying championship with Lauri Markkanen. If the Utah Jazz are to be the 8th team knocking on the door, so they're just right outside the conversation, because I'm assuming like that's the aspiration, right? We're trying to get to that point. Can Lauri Markkanen be the best player on that team? I'm gonna say no. However, I do think he can be the top scorer on that team. And that's where I think Darren Peterson comes in. Peterson is a much more well-rounded prospect. He has the defensive intangibles. He has a little bit of playmaking upside. I've seen him, make great passes in high school. And I think that part of his game was a little bit muted last year in college. And of course, he has the bucket getting, transitional upside. So maybe at this point, what we can get is they're going to be co-stars. Jeez, welcome back, man.
Yeah. Y'all get y'all ass up, boy. It's a real bad boy in the house. Yeah. It's the Drench, man.
I don't understand. I don't understand how we can't put together. So here are my predictions for the Jazz. So Ron, stick that ugly ass chicken hand back out there, nigga, because we all finna put some money on Tom. Finna put some money on Tom.
Let's go.
What you want to do? I got them winning what 40 and a half. No, 39 and a half. Because I don't even think you think they're going to win 40 games next year.
No, what do you think they're going to win?
No.
And then we're going to go below that.
39 and a half. Line.
Because you said 42 earlier, so
39 and a half.
41.
Okay, 40 and a half.
40
and a half.
No, I don't take that bet. They're going to win.
Come on, Ron. Come on, Ron.
41, and you got it.
Ron, just so we clear,
that's what 40 and a half is.
No, 41 and a half.
So Ron, just so we clear.
Hell no. So anyway, I also think
Over one game?
What the hell?
Because y'all clearly aren't better. That matters. Okay.
Yeah.
Here it goes. Here it goes. I think the Utah Jazz are going to be one of the 10 best offenses in the league next year. And I think they're going to be one of the 14 to 16 best defenses.
Just say an average defense. Go down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Average defense. Average defensively, they're going to be one of the best offenses in the league. And they're going to win. They're going to win games next year. They're going to win a lot of games.
Who's the leader in that locker room? Who's the leader in that locker room?
Hey, real talk. Why you think they're gonna be one of the like midway best like defensive teams? Because they got Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yes, Dredge. Yes, that's why.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I don't.
Jr.'s one of the best defensive players.
Hold on,
in the
DP
league.
too. DP is a good defender.
Real talk. This kind of where I disagree with you. I don't really. I appreciate the Jaren Jackson Jr. hype, but I'm not really that big on him, even from the defensive standpoint. I think he blocks shots. I think he kind of affected a little bit, but I'm really not that high on him defensively. I think he'll have some highlights, and then he'll have some lowlights defensively. Like I'm not that.
Is he a top 20 defender, Drench?
Yeah, he's top 20, maybe top 25.
So
but
so
I'm
that's
saying,
a pretty good defender.
No, yeah, I didn't say he wasn't a pretty good defender. Real talk saying he's one of the best defenders in the game. I think top 20. Yes, you can say that's one of the best defenders in the game, but I would, if we would go there, I would probably say top 5. You know what I mean? To have that impact. That's what I think. I think you can be really good defensively, but I think
Jaren Jackson
top 5
Jr. defender, you're like elite defensively.
Yes,
like
but that's what I'm saying. I don't.
Rudy Gobert, Victor Wembanyama.
I don't think Jaren Jackson Jr. has that.
I think he's on that next level down.
Like that guy.
Is he a better defender than Giannis right now?
No, not to me.
He's
no,
not. Okay, so that's where we disagree. I think he's better than Giannis right now.
Defensively. That's totally fine. We don't got to get caught up on Giannis.
He's in that tier.
Yes, but I was just saying I don't to Real Talk's point, I'm not saying Real Talk is wrong. I don't agree that he has that impact to a team like an Asar, like a Rudy Gobert. Like I don't think he has that type of impact. I think he's good around other good defenders. Like if you have solid guys like Dylan Brooks who got that battery in their back, you know what I mean? And you got that type of culture like Memphis had.
If he's got to carry the defense, is what you're saying, Drench. If he got to carry the defense, he's not.
If he got to carry the defense, I don't think that's him. Nah.
I'm not understanding
look
how
at you.
He was just one of the most impactful defenders last season.
Literally.
Well, like, what evidence are y'all having to substantiate your claims besides?
But real talk,
and back.
Real talk.
He made the Memphis
it's a leaky roof, though.
Better.
No, I get that. He'll probably make the worst defense in the league. By the way, he might make them 8 points better. It is a leaky roof, though, and it's not one leak. It's leaks all over the place. He can't patch up all the holes. He just can't.
And part of it too, Real Talk is, and I know some people don't value that, but part of it too is rebounding. Like, bro, if he can't shut that possession down and just grab the damn rebound, like that is another reason why I don't have his impact that high, because it's like sometimes you don't just necessarily need to block a shot, but if I can shut your second chance down, like that's some monster type of stuff. I don't look at Triple J like a monster.
Ron, I'm gonna run down some bigs and you tell me yes or no, is Jaren Jackson a better defender? Wemby.
Come on, chill. You didn't even have to say that.
Chet.
No.
You don't have to say that either.
Rudy.
Definitely don't have to say that either.
Bam.
Nope.
No.
Draymond.
No.
Mobley.
No. Real
Cater.
talk. That's nasty. Cater? How Cater get in this?
Yeah, he better than Cater.
He better than Cater for
I
sure.
do think he's better than Cater. So that was 5. That was 5 guys. Now I want to run down some other guys. I don't think he's better than Thompson or Sore. I don't think he's better than the men neither.
No,
Neither one of them. Yeah.
How about Derek White? You think he's better than him?
Yes.
He don't have the impact. I don't think so. I don't think he had the impact Derek White have on defense.
This is my face waiting for you to face Scotty Barnes.
I don't think
he
so.
clears Derek White defensively.
Skip a name and keep going, chill. Skip a name.
Derek
keep
White,
going.
real talk, the best player on the
Yes,
Celtics
Derek-
last year. That Derek White?
That guy. Yeah, he
Yes.
clears.
Clearing is crazy, but
he ain't
if
a better
you say he's
defender.
better, I mean that's fine.
He ain't a better.
Is he a better defender than Scotty Barnes?
No, come on, chill. Scotty Barnes is the lead defender.
Okay, so he's not a better. How about Wallace?
Kaysen?
Casey
Yes,
Wallace?
Yes, sir.
No, he's not.
No.
How about
OKC got like
you can't
4
really
defenders over there that
measure-
he's not
Is
better
he
than.
a better
measure
defender
the
than
two, though.
Kawhi Leonard right now?
Come on, Penn. You jumping the gun. No.
No, I'm
We
not.
don't even need to ask that
Kawhi's still
question.
an elite defender.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But we don't need to ask is Triple J better than him? Like we know Triple J not better. Not very many guys better than Kawhi at defense.
So OG
Like, that's-
Anunoby, he's not better than
No.
him.
No,
Dyson,
he's not.
Dyson Daniels, he ain't better than him.
No.
Now we're getting into the tier where we can talk about it because I
if
think
you say he better than Dyson Daniels, real talk, I'm not gonna argue with you on that one.
exactly. There's
No,
things
not
that
the
he does.
Dyson Daniels, I'm talking
We
about
overstate the
Kawhi.
defensive rebounding issues. I think if you
No, we
put
don't.
a good,
No, we do not.
we do because he is an elite rim protector, and he's
This is a
really
different thing.
Completely different thing.
okay. Mars, they're not a completely different thing because
That's like saying we overstate Jokic's
defensive
rim protection
rebound.
because he's an elite
Yes,
rebounder.
because
It's
those
like,
two
no,
things
that's a
are
different thing.
absolutely they're both involved in protecting the most valuable real estate on the court.
Which is
Blocks,
Rebounding isn't involved. in
blocks and
protecting
shot
the
contests limit efficiency. Defensive rebounds close possessions.
Yeah.
Both
Yes.
things create stable.
And he's
defense.
bad at one of those things.
I don't think he's necessarily like a terrible defensive rebounder. I think he's
He's
terrible. defense-
awful. He's terrible.
No,
defensive
he's not.
rebounder.
He's not.
He's a,
I-
he's a
I-
terrible
I-
defensive
He-
rebounder.
He's not as bad as
He
you're
don't
saying
even
he
try.
is. He's not good. Okay, he's not good.
He don't even
But-
try.
Can,
That's
you
really what
name,
it
can
is.
you name one big in the NBA who's a worse defensive rebounder than Jaren Jackson?
Go.
One.
Andrea Bargnani.
And if you can't name one, name
he's not
four.
in the league anymore. But Andrea Bargnani was a worse defensive rebounder.
He ain't been in the league in 20
today?
years.
Today.
Yeah, if you
In
can
20
you
years,
name
he
one big in the league who is worse for his team's defensive rebounding than Jaren Jackson?
Penn, you're a better defender. You're a better rebounder than Jaren Jackson.
Somebody said
And if you
No,
can
no.
name,
What
and
do
if
you
you can
mean
name
Worse
one,
for his
Jackson, worse
team.
than him.
What do you
Name
mean worse for
three.
his? What do you mean worse for his
Um,
team's defensive rebounding? Because usually I've heard you use
Miles
stats
Turner's
saying
pretty
that
bad.
when Jaren Jackson is on
Stay
the
out the
court,
chat.
their team rebounds
Just think about
better.
somebody.
yeah, then I saw what it was in the playoffs, and it was, they get drastically worse when Jaren
And
Jackson's on
I
the
think
floor
Miles Turner's a
rebounding.
better rebounder than Jaren Jackson, actually.
Yeah, and Miles
Honestly,
Turner suck at rebounding too, though.
I
I
don't
wouldn't
think
even
he's-
no. I don't
think
even
he's
agree
better.
with Brook Lopez because at least Brook Lopez be boxing people out. Like at least Brook Lopez keeps other people off the glass. Jaren Jackson don't box out or get the ball. Brook Lopez at
He don't
least
even
provides
try.
value in one.
Jaren
of the
Jackson don't even
areas.
try, bro.
Yeah, like I don't even agree with Brook Lopez, and that would be like the low hanging fruit.
Which would explain.
And I
which
don't
would
even think that
explain
one's
why-
accurate.
Which would explain why defensively you need other people around him to drench his point. You need other
Yeah, you
people
need a
around him
five.
to Mars' point
Yeah.
for him to play the 5 spot where he can be more of a roamer, more of a rim protector, shooting gaps, man in the paint, and you got another guy who can be around him like Nurkic, who does actually rebound.
They have
Lauri-
fives.
Yes, Lauri Marketing, who does rebound, like guys who can clean up. So this does actually work for them defensively. I'm not gonna argue that point. But the defense, in terms of him rebounding, no, Penn, absolutely not. No way.
All right, fellas. Well, we've talked enough jazz for the time
Tobias
being.
Harris
We do have a guest that will be
nice, man.
coming.
We're calling him a big, okay, nice.
and Sandro Mamakashvili. There's two.
Insider for the Utah Jazz will be coming up here pretty soon. Before we do that, though, we're about an hour and 22 minutes into the show. So let's go ahead and read some of these super chats and see what the people got to say about the Jazz or what they got to just say about basketball and what's going on in the basketball world in general. We're going to start from the top, as we typically do. And we're going to kick it off with my man Tupac Westside because, you know, Tupac's always on time with his super chats. Tupac sent through $10 and said, "Morning, fellas. I can see Utah as a playoff team. 5 to 7 seed. Looks like the JK S&T talks are up again." It's JK S&T.
Sign and trade.
Sign and trade for
Jesus
Jonathan.
Christ. Boy.
Jonathan Kuminga's sign and trade talks are
Boy,
up again.
Y'all got some understanding, boy. In no fucking way. How you
Tupac
do that,
said,
though, for real, Mars? Like, how you do that? Like, how do you just like look at that shit and just know exactly what it's saying? Like, did y'all like have a glossary or what? Like, how you be doing that?
I
Well,
just
number
read the
one-
context around it and then put it together. Well, I tried to.
That's the
plus
smart thing to
Tupac.
do. I just ain't did that.
Plus, Tupac Westside is a Laker guy, and they lost Rui. So you think JK, Jonathan Kuminga, in exchange for Rui.
She's just kidding. I mean, shit. I don't know. It's a million things JK could be.
WJK definitely could be like.
I
But
mean,
yeah, Tupac, to finish it off, Tupac said it looks like the JK sign and trade talks are up again. IDGAF anymore. Either we get him or we don't. Hope he buys into what we need if we do get him.
Tupac, I'm gonna tell you this. I don't think y'all want Jonathan Kuminga because he gonna go over there disrespecting Pac anyway. But
Did he do that? Where'd that come from?
Kids a little more. But it's some shit Mars was supposed to say 2 years ago. But I don't think Jonathan Kuminga fits with the Laker guy. I think the guy that they got, people would expect to be Jonathan Kuminga is a Duke Thero. I think that's the base of what they would want. I think Jonathan Kuminga would come and you would ask him to play that role, which I think he could play that role better than the Duke Thero, but I don't think he gonna buy in. I don't think at this point in Jonathan Kuminga's career, I don't think he's gonna buy in. I think it'll take Jonathan Kuminga to go play in Europe before he actually buy into what a team wants him to do. And so that's just where I'm at when it comes to Jonathan Kuminga. Talent, but buy in, he don't got it. So if as Lakers fans, if I were y'all, I would want to stay away from that. What they is building with the Lakers right now, I would just let it rock. I wouldn't mess with Jonathan Kuminga. It'd be too much of a distraction.
We ain't building nothing. Get Jonathan Kuminga. He's gonna be our starter. We need to start him for. He's gonna be.
I don't think y'all need him to do that. I don't think he fit in with Luka, man. I think if that's me, I know Duke Thero is raw talent, but I don't know if you got to start him. You don't necessarily got to start. You know what I mean? Like, you don't necessarily got to start. We can put some stuff in, and as the game go on, we sub some lineups out. But I would try to work him into that type of role, though. I would definitely try to work him.
We need a starting four. I don't want Mahmoud starting respectfully. We need a four, and
he can though. He can start.
I'm good. I know about Mahmoud starting.
But why does it matter? But why does it matter if he started or come off the bench?
Vanderbilt starting either.
But why does it matter if he start or come off the bench though?
Jonathan Kuminga?
No, Mahmoud or Vando.
Well, you know,
Vando's just.
I think that's an or. I don't think Vando's even an option, but that's neither.
I mean, sure. What?
I just want some more athleticism playing with Luka Doncic. So I would prefer that archetypal player than Mahmoud at the four. Would rather have.
I get it, but Jonathan Kuminga ain't gonna. Jonathan Kuminga ain't gonna give you the intelligence that Mahmoud gonna give you though. That's the trade off.
You think he a dumbass?
No, I don't think he a dumbass. I don't. I think the style of the way he wants to play, he think he's better than what he is.
Sound like a dumbass.
Which is fine. Sure. What Jeff Van Gundy say? Play your smart players more and your dumb players less.
Yes, sound like a dumbass to me.
That's the smart thing to do.
I abide by that philosophy.
For sure.
As you should.
But at the same time, it's like, bro, like he thinks he's better than what he is, and I don't think he has the identity. He hasn't had much practice to buy into what a team is trying to do, and I don't think it's going to start with the Lakers. I think he needs to go find that somewhere.
Years. How much more practice?
And he never bought in, not one time.
And he had plenty of practice to buy in to what they was trying to do. Plenty.
I don't know because at the same time, Steve Kerr a little bit different for him, so he
shows some buy-in in Atlanta for what they wanted him to do. I think his problem with the Warriors for a long time, which I was saying up here, it was like the Warriors are begging for some, a second creator, a guy that can maybe isolate on the weak side or something like that. And it's like Jonathan Kuminga is like, hey, I could do that on this team. There's not really another option. I shouldn't just be setting screens for Steph at that particular point. That's how he felt. Because there wasn't really
ain't no way he. But real talk, ain't no way he should have even got that in his mind though. That I shouldn't be setting screens. Yes, the fuck you should.
No, but what I'm saying, he doesn't want to just be solely doing that, and I could understand him on that with that roster. There wasn't another self creator on the roster until Jimmy Butler got over there.
I mean, I'm with you. I'm gonna tell you why I can't understand that from him, because he has done nothing to prove that he should do what he think he could do. So that's what I'm talking about as far as buying in. Not just because you might think, well, ain't no other creator, I got to be the one to create. But if the coach say, yeah, dog, that ain't what we looking for, and you still have that mindset, that sounds like a you problem. If we being honest.
Sound like a dumbass.
And not only that though, real talk. After they got Jimmy Butler, he still couldn't buy in.
Sound like a dumbass.
So it's like, where did he win in this situation?
I mean, well, at that point, I do think that relationship between him and the Warriors was kind of cooked. So. But I mean, he was cool on Atlanta to me. I thought he did what he was supposed to.
Yeah,
do.
he had the first 2-3 games where it was like, damn, and then after that, what he did in the playoffs.
Played a little defense in the playoffs too.
That's it. Played a little defense. That's it. There you go. When my little nephew, when my little nephew used to play at AAU, and I used to call back home to my mom. I'd be like, "Mama, how my nephew did?" And she'd be like, "Oh, he did good. He did real good." I say, "What'd he do?" And she was like, "Oh, he played good defense." I automatically know that nigga played trash. That's what I did. Automatically do it. Automatically, I got him on the phone immediately. Hey, bro. Fuck you mean you playing defense and you ain't nothing but 5'8", 5'9"? Don't nobody need no 5'9" defense to stop. Nigga, you played trash. That's what you did. It is what it is.
He has some play. And I mean, he's getting humbled now. Like every time he wants a big contract, nobody's giving it to him. So I mean that's telling you something there. I mean, he has to buy in if he wants to continue being in the NBA. This is what it is.
That's why I say I feel like he got to go play in Europe for him to buy in, though.
Damn.
All right, the next super chat I got is from Kai's World 3. Kai's World sent through $19.99 and said, "Feel like all the Keyonte discourse on this show is always negative. So I just wanted to highlight how good he was offensively last year. He was 24-6 on 61 true shooting percentage and had a +9 offensive net swing. Flat out great offensive talent."
Facts.
When I say him and Lauri were, one of the best offenses on the court last year, apparently that was, how dare you?
So what's our expectations for Keyonte this year, then?
I don't expect 24 a game, but I expect him to be less of a bucket getter, but more efficient as a bucket getter.
I think he'd be third team All-NBA.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah.
You think he'll all pro?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I'm telling you why. I think he's going to take that leap like Tyrese Maxey.
So you think he's their best player then?
Yeah. Well, Lauri Markkanen can be, but I think with the ball in Keyonte George's hand, he will be able to score. Like, Keyonte George just got better as a scorer. I don't know if y'all been paying attention from year after year. He didn't figure that shit out. And so now you put a little bit more weapons around him, and I think he'll still have the ball a lot. I think he'll, if he don't make third team All-NBA, I think he'll have a great chance. I think he'll be in a discussion. Like Mars say, it's a conversation. But I think he'll be around there because I think he can have a season like Jamal Murray. You know how Jamal Murray had a season in Denver? I think Keyonte George is very capable of doing that. And if the Utah Jazz can sneak some wins in there, people will take notice to it. But the brother can score the basketball.
When you got a guy that to Drench point, I mean, he came in as a rookie averaging 13 a game. This season that just passed, he averaged 24 a game. That's almost double. Like, I'm not just doing that.
Brother can score the basketball.
Yeah, I'm not just doing that. Even if it is on a bad team, I'm not just doing that if I'm not improving my game.
That's what I'm saying.
41,
so that's why
I'm with you now.
Now because he brought up Keyonte stats.
What you want to
put on it?
They're gonna win 41 games.
Hey, well, we already got a wager for next year. Oh, we're waiting to do the Lakers one, right? Because we
have some on the Lakers too. I think it was like
48.
7.5.
Yeah. But no, we never confirmed it though.
So you asked me for a player, a big, who's a worse rebounder than Jaren Jackson. I got you 10. I thought about it. I got you 10.
I don't even think that was Ox who asked you that, but
it was me. But it was me.
Wasn't it?
It was me. I want to hear the 10 though.
Okay, Miles Bridges, Jeremy Grant,
We
Sandro
know
Mamukelashvili.
bigs by proximity. I mean,
They are bigs.
Yeah.
Sandro Mamukelashvili.
Ain't no one look at Miles Bridges and say big.
He's a power
Oh,
forward.
Okay,
let
he
him
said
cook,
mama
Mars.
was
Let-
up
let
there.
him
Keep going.
cook.
No, keep going,
Let
Ben.
him
Keep
cook,
going.
Mars.
Okay,
There's a
so
difference.
my-
A power
my-
forward doesn't mean you're a bit. Kyrie.
Okay,
Let him cook,
players
Mars.
who play power
I'm
forward.
sorry
or
about this,
center.
Caleb. You having to walk into Utah Jazz hate. These guys are disgusting.
It's not Utah Jazz hate. I'm telling you 10 players who played 4 or 5 last year that are worse rebounders than Jaren Jackson. Now shut up and let me
Come on,
cook.
let's-
All right,
let him cook.
Miles Bridges, Jeremy Grant, Sandro Mamukelashvili, Obi Toppin, Michael Porter Jr., Derek Jones.
Hell
Jr.
no, Obi Toppin ain't no worse
Michael Porter
rebounder
Jr.
than Jared
Michael
Jackson.
Porter
He's
Jr.
way
is a way
worse.
better rebounder.
Hell
He's
no.
way worse.
No
Sam
way.
Hauser,
Michael
Cam
Porter
Johnson,
Jr. is a good
Jalen
rebounder
Smith,
though.
Miles
Yeah,
Turner.
Michael Porter Jr. is a way better rebounder than Triple J.
For
I
a
don't know
small
how you
forward.
got that in there.
I'm talking defensive
No,
rebounders.
for a big.
Miles
Michael-
Bridges ain't
yes.
no big.
He is not.
Neither
Mars.
neither is Michael
He
Porter
is
Jr.
not.
But we're
Porter
gonna
Jr.
we're
Michael
gonna let
Porter
Ben
Jr. is a
cook.
way better rebounder.
Miles Turner was a big. I forgot.
Jalen Smith,
Good
Jalen
job.
Smith's a big.
Good job.
Obi
Ben.
Toppin.
Good job.
Pin, this is
I'll
your
support it.
second time burning something today.
I support you. I
I
support
know
you.
you burnt your
didn't burn
breakfast. Yeah. So why'd your fire alarm go off? Why was you late to the show?
Yeah, but why you? But why did you
Building
say?
fire alarm, not my fire
But
alarm.
Penn, why did you say Michael Porter Jr.? Michael Porter Jr. is a good rebounder. Where did you get that from?
And he ain't a big, by the way.
He
Yeah, but he a
wasn't-
better rebounder than Triple J. I can
By
tell you
the
that.
way,
No.
Shit, why didn't you say Chris
He's-
But
Murray?
why you put him in there though? Like Michael Porter Jr. is a really good rebounder.
for a small forward, yes. For a power forward, he's not a great rebounder. You play him at the 4,
Hey,
defensive rebounding gets bad.
you cooked though, Pin. That was a good list, brother.
No,
What's up,
man,
bro?
I think you might be tripping on that one. If you put Michael Porter Jr. at the 3 or the 4, it's no way you watching him and say, "Damn."
So Michael Porter
MPJ
Jr.
is a good
goes.
rebounder at the 3, but if he slides to the 4, his rebounder go out.
Drench,
the
I
door.
think
There's no way
you
said
cooked, Drench. I think we gotta let him. I think we gotta accept the fact that was a solid list.
that.
Ron?
Okay, cool.
Thank you, Pin.
I ain't trying to
all
argue
right.
with Penn. That's Penn perspective. It is what it is. You know, that's Penn's corner.
So, fellas, we have an honored guest that covers Utah. Now, I can give him an introduction, but he could probably introduce himself better than I ever could. Caleb, man, talk to the people, talk to the chat, talk to the guys up here. Let everybody know who you are, where you from, and what you do.
My name is Chandler Holtz. I'm originally from the.
Hold on, wait. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, wait. Caleb, you guys don't know who Caleb.
Garbage.
Don't worry about it, Chandler. Hey, Chandler, don't worry about it.
Chandler, I'm sorry. Caleb Holt is a big time basketball player. I'm sorry. It's a basketball show. I like Caleb. Caleb Holt he's a big prospect.
Ron, sit back. I'm hosting that.
Hang on, hang on. He did say that you could do a better job introducing yourself than he could. So
Nah, but this is the thing. This is the thing.
I'm sorry, Caleb.
Chill, because look, chill. You got the controls. Chill, so you can see just like me and Ron can see everybody's name on the bottom.
It's right
I heard you call him Caleb like 2 times
right
already. I
there.
was like,
My
his
bad.
name is Chandler.
My
It
bad.
clearly says
I've
Chandler.
been covering, unlike Real Talk, I've been covering college basketball. Caleb Holt is one of the Chandler, are you familiar with Caleb Holt?
Boo this
All
man.
right, so
That's crazy.
I'm sorry.
Caleb, go ahead
At least I
and
know your last name's
introduce
Holt.
yourself. My name is Chandler.
Thank you.
This dude
Hey,
is
Caleb, go ahead and
garbage.
introduce yourself. So my
I'm
name is Chandler.
I'm sorry, Chandler.
Hey, Drench, this dude is garbage. He is trash.
Boo this man. Yo, chat. Throw tomatoes, chat. Chat, we need you to fill up the chat with
That's worse than what
tomatoes.
I did in New York, bro. When I went up to that girl.
relax.
That's worse
Relax.
than
It
when I
happens.
Can y'all let him, thank you, Pin. Can you guys let him introduce himself correctly?
Yeah, so I'm Chandler. I work at KSL Sports, which is a local outlet here in Salt Lake City. I'm originally from the Seattle area. I moved out here for college in 2020. Yes, sir. You can't see it, but I got a Seattle thing right next to the Jazz jersey. And yeah, I just got promoted actually to our Jazz Insider recently, but I've been working at the outlet for about 5 years now, specialized in basketball. I grew up playing basketball. So yeah, that's about it. I'm super excited to talk with you guys about some Jazz.
Congratulations
Finally,
on the
some more-
promotion,
some more
Chandler.
Utah
Congratulations.
love up here.
Putting him
Yeah,
on the big
congrats,
screen
congrats.
just as all the tomatoes came in is some nasty hosting, Ron. Like Chandler,
Yeah,
this
you're
ain't
just
about
bad
you,
at
man.
this. I'm not
This
gonna
this
lie.
this ain't about you, Chandler. This is only Ron. Ron.
This dude is garbage.
You're really not that good at this. It's crazy.
So, aside from all of that, Chandler, how are you feeling about the Jazz this year? Let's just start off. Let's get right to it.
Yeah, honestly, I'm feeling good. I was listening to this whole show, and there's a lot of things I want to talk about a lot of.
Oh, you've been listening?
Hang on,
Chandler. I was at the gym earlier. I figured I might as well have that on while I was lifting.
Oh, okay.
But
I was the only one up here fighting, Chandler. I've been the only one up here fighting.
That's not true.
You got some good takes, bro. But yeah, no, I'm super excited. I think
That's a bad take.
I think this team is gonna shock a lot of people. I don't think they're gonna do nothing crazy. I think the Walker Kessler trade hurts a lot. I was super high on this team before the Walker Kessler trade because you had, and a big topic of conversation was the defense, and I'll get into that. The defense is the main thing that will prevent this team from really doing anything this year. But the offensive talent, like you guys talked about, Keyonte George, Lauri Markkanen, who can put up 25 any night. Yeah, this is going to be a fun team to watch for sure. It'll be a league pass team at the very least.
Chandler,
Y'all were already league
up
pass
your
team.
mic a little bit, if you can. Up your mic a little bit.
Yep.
Chill, still ain't recovered.
I'm good. I'm all right.
Chill, what's good?
Nigga,
Chill, you good?
wrong. That
What's
was
wrong?
Crazy. That was insane. Like I'm talking about, bruh. I'm sorry, Chandler.
Oh my God.
This man Ron
Chad is
is
still saying,
ruined.
"Let's go, Caleb" in the chat right now.
Cause that you know.
Caleb
man,
Holt is
this
a
man-
good comp. That is an amazing
this man
basketball
was
player.
serious. This man and like nobody knew that his name was Chandler. Like he like Caleb. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I knew,
this
Drench.
man-
I knew. I can see it in the background. I knew. That's why I was like, why?
We
is he
all
calling me?
knew he sent us a bio to get
Yeah,
familiar.
but it's
Like
he
a W host.
His name is Chandler. I'm Chandler.
Chandler, we are much more professional in this. I apologize, but my dude over here, he's one of those players that like 1 minute, like he could be really good, but then he can go like 0 for 8 and like turn the ball over.
He
four
JaVale
times.
McGee.
You know what he is? He is
Like he's that dude.
He
So
is the panel.
I apologize.
He
Yes.
is the podcast equivalent of Russell Westbrook. You've
Yeah.
seen Russell Westbrook,
no,
right?
no.
Chan-
See, look,
Chandler?
move on. We ain't
right?
doing this.
It's great one quarter, and then the next quarter it costs you the game,
Like
right?
you watching
So-
him and you're like, yo, what
exactly.
is this dude doing?
So,
on the floor?
so
But
I'll
I
let
see
you know.
how-
Like yesterday, he sent us a link letting us know all about you and that you were going to be on the show and that you were a Jazz insider
Yes.
and get familiar with Chandler, man. He's amazing.
Super
He
excited
really
about it.
covers the Jazz. He's amazing. And then he comes up here and pulls his Caleb Holt shit. So, hopefully we can move past this, man.
And Caleb, I still do believe that you're amazing. Can you tell the people once again where they can find you, where they can follow you at, and all of this stuff?
Yeah, is my mic any better?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
good.
It's better.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm at Holt Sports on all social media platforms. Also, you can find a bunch of my writing at kslsports.com. I post articles at least weekly during the off season, and then when the season rolls around, it'll be daily, sometimes multiple times a day. And then also, if you're, I don't know how many Jazz fans are in here, but if you're an NBA sicko, whatever it might be, I do Jazz Notes podcast every week as well. We talk about the Jazz and also just NBA wide stuff all the time.
What is the thing that you are with the Jazz? What is the thing that you're most excited about with this group this season?
I think probably the popular answer for me would just be what Darren Peterson looks like in year one, because I feel like often rookies, it's kind of questionable how much they can help you win in their first year in the NBA.
Sure.
Then again, you see last year how Dylan Harper might have been the second best player on that team in the finals, so I'm interested to see how much of an impact Darren Peterson can have and also what his role will be. That's something that I wanted to talk about is Will Hardy. He's going into his 5th year as the Jazz's head coach. And all 4 of his previous years have been when the Jazz were, rebuilding or tanking, whatever you want to call it. He hasn't started a rookie in game 1 of the season once. Last year, Ace Bailey didn't start until game 10 or game 15. Mind you, this is the second time the Jazz have ever had a top 2 pick on their team that they drafted. So maybe it changes this year, but I'm interested to see what it looks like.
He doesn't start this guy, he's getting fired on the spot. He's getting fired if he doesn't start this.
How,
No question about it.
Chandler, I'm assuming
I
you've watched
mean, he
a
got
lot
some
more.
comp in front of him.
Chandler, I'm assuming you've watched a lot more Jazz games than we have here. How do you feel about Will Hardy as a coach?
I think Will Hardy is, like you guys said, he's a phenomenal offensive coach. And then when it comes to the defensive end, I question if it's scheme or personnel. You talked about earlier with Keyonte George, was it an effort thing? Is it a scheme thing? I think that has yet to be figured out. I do think Keyonte can be a better defender. It's not like he's undersized. But I also, the Jazz just have not had good defensive personnel. Now you have Jaren Jackson. Jaren Jackson is not Victor Wembanyama. He's not going to be a one-man defensive show. He's not going to make you a top 10 defense by himself. But still, by far, in the past 5 years, this is the best team defensively in terms of personnel that the Jazz have rolled
But
out.
y'all
So I
lost
think
your
that-
best defender.
I think okay. And I promise you, I have no dog in this fight. This is not he's not on the team anymore, so I'm gonna like talk down on him. I think Walker Kessler is overrated as a defender. I don't think he is a Rudy Gobert level of, like rim protector. Like you can just bring him everything in the paint. You can funnel everything to him, and he will make you a good defensive
Is he
team.
better than Jaren Jackson?
I think Jaren Jackson is a better defender. I think he's a more versatile defender.
Okay.
I think Walker absolutely has the rim protection advantage over him. Absolutely, he has the size, but I think Jaren is way more versatile. I think you can put him on the perimeter and trust him a little bit more. Like you're not going to put him on insert top 5 guard here. Absolutely not. But I still think that he is a better defender overall. But still, you have Keyonte and Lauri, who over the past few seasons have been just straight up defensive liabilities. So you need those guys to step up. You need Ace Bailey to take a leap. You need Duren to be like, rookie guards are rarely actually like plus defenders, but you need him to be a good defender as well.
What's the
Chandler,
staple?
I'm kind of interested in y'all's like zone percentage as far as how much usage of zone y'all used last year, because with the team this big, I can see, a possibility where, hey, let's use that length and that wingspan and try to cover up as much of the court as possible, because we also don't have too many like great man defenders. And I think you can still rebound with all of the size still on the court. Do you think that's going to be like a real option that Will Hardy looks at next year?
Yeah, it's a good question. And I think that it would be more this upcoming year than we've seen in the past. It hasn't really been like a consistent thing that the Jazz have showed in previous years. But I see what you're saying with the length. The problem is going back to is it personnel or is it scheme? If it ends up being personnel, then you're going to have a lot of blown coverages in zones. You're going to have guys getting blown past. And especially now when you're going against all of these talented scorers in the West, like they're going to be able to either shoot you out of a zone or pick apart a zone. So I think that you're going to need to be a tied unit. You need to be like you all 5 need to be on the same page when you're on the court together. And that comes into like a culture question and how together this group will be, is like if you can really figure that out early in the season.
Which actually leads into my next question, because everything that you just said, if the guys buy into the scheme, then the effort changes. And if the effort changes, you see a better defensive team, which now leads into, is Will Hardy that guy? Because we have the personnel now that we didn't have in years past. So now what is this team's staple in this season coming up? The 26-27 season, what is the staple of the Utah Jazz? What are they hanging their hats on?
That's a good question as well. And I think it would be like size is probably the obvious answer. Like you guys talked about, if you roll out Nurkic, Triple J, Lauri, that's 3 guys who are 6'10 plus as your front court. But also surprisingly, even with a team like that, I think the Jazz might end up being top 10 in pace this year, which might be tough to see. But you have Keyonte, you have Ace, and you have Darren Peterson. Lauri is kind of an underrated transition player, I would say. He gets on the break as well. And then I think the thing that's nice and something that doesn't kind of an under talked about thing with the addition of Jaren Jackson is kind of a lumbering 4. Like you're not going to see him run the break a lot, which is good because you can get 4 guys up the floor and then Jaren can come down last, and then he loves that top of the key, catch and shoot.
And transition 3,
Transition
trail 3.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. He loves that
secondary breaks and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And also the Jazz are, I have the numbers here. I'll find it later, but the Jazz are a ball movement, player movement offense, right? So you're going to see that come into effect in transition, first of all, but also you have Lauri Markkanen, who is awesome coming off the screens, pin downs, come around, shoot that wing 3. And then you also had Darren Peterson, and that might be his bread and butter. That might be what he's best at as a scorer, that player movement. And I think that sort of tying this into what you need to see and what they're going to hang their hat on, you need Keyonte George he had 6 assists last year. He came in as an off guard and he has made amazing strides as a ball handler, as a true 1. You need him to do that again, because we talk about defense as the main sort of thing that's lacking for this Jazz team. I think the second would be playmaking / ball handling. You need Keyonte George to maybe be 8 assists a game. I don't know if you want to put it in terms of numbers or what, but you need someone who can settle this offense down. If you're going to be fast and if you're going to have all these different options, you need someone who can be like, okay, what's our best option right now?
How do you feel about Darren Peterson as a defender? Because I think Darren Peterson can be actually a really good defender. I think, him coming into a role where he don't have to be like this crazy scorer because he already has some on the team. I would like to see him sit down and kind of show that he can sit down and defend. Because I think he's underrated as a defender, if you ask me. But I want to know what you think about him.
Yeah, I think right now, and I think this is the case for a lot of guards who come in with like defense being one of their key skills. I think right now he's mostly a defensive playmaker. Like you'll see him get in passing lanes, you'll see him get some head drips and stuff like that. But you want to see him eventually become a good on-ball defender. That's not saying he's bad at that right now. I'd say he's probably average or maybe a bit above average for a rookie guard. But if he can come around and be that, I think that'd be huge, because you also see how you guys talk about how earlier in the show you talk about how it only takes one weak link to sort of make everything fall apart. On the opposite end, it takes one guy who has that energy and has that effort to sort of bring everybody up. You know what I'm saying? So I think that Darren Peterson could maybe help Keyonte George be a better on-ball defender.
Yeah.
And Jaren Jackson could help Lauri Markkanen be a better on-ball defender. So it really starts with those guys who have it already to hopefully be sort of like an on-court coach, floor general, whatever you want to call it, bring everybody else up.
Covering the Jazz.
Yeah, I think with Darren Peterson and Keyonte George, I think just because both of them are really good scorers, or they will be really good scorers, I think that tandem together, a lot of people will talk about. And so if Darren Peterson is playing defense, I almost think that almost give Keyonte George an incentive to like pick it up, step it up, because for however long they stay together, that will be a duo conversation. Who's one of the better duos in the league? And it's going to go down to Darren Peterson, Keyonte George, or Tyrese Maxey, Jaylen Brown, or however you want to, whatever duos there are in the NBA, they'll be a part of that conversation. And so I think it's going to force Keyonte to play defense. Now, will he? I guess we got to see with that, because Mars think he's one of the worst defensive players in the NBA. So
I mean, just based on stats, he has been one of the worst defensive players in the league. Like that's just a fact. But here's the other interesting part of that. Keyonte George is up for an extension this year. You know what I mean? So if Darren Peterson comes in and he's like, oh, this dude is given so much more effort than me, and he has all this offensive talent, he's only a rookie and he's already in this conversation with me, I better step it up if I want to get this contract, if I want to be a part of this team for the next 5-10 years, whatever.
Speaking of being a part of the team, is Lauri Markkanen the stuff that he does? Is it empty?
It's tough to say, and I was thinking about this when this conversation was happening earlier. On a team that, and let's take this away from the Jazz for a second, okay? For any team that is rebuilding, tanking, has a bad record, is anyone on that team have non-empty stats? You know what I mean? Someone has to score on every team in the NBA. Someone has to score. But just because they're a losing team, does that make it empty stats? That's sort of the question that came to my mind. I don't think it's empty, but then again, here's the other thing that I don't know if this might be a hot take to y'all. I don't know what the temperature on this is. I don't know if Lauri Markkanen will be the Jazz's best player next year. I think
no, it's not a hot take for me either, though.
I think there's a chance he's the third best player next year behind Keyonte and Jaren Jackson. I think Jaren Jackson has it on both ends. I think Jaren is a more versatile scorer than Lauri Markkanen. Lauri Markkanen, to me, and this is like, let me say before I get into this, Lauri Markkanen is a ridiculously talented basketball player. He's 7'1". He can dunk on you. He shoots 40% from three. He was like the first NBA player to have 200 threes and 100 dunks or something like that. But he's like in NBA 2K, if you gave your guy a 95 three and a 95 driving dunk, but then you're sacrificing your ball handling and all these other stats in order to get that. You know what I'm saying? But Jaren, you can give him in the post. He can catch and shoot. He can even get downhill sometimes. You can throw him lobs. And Lauri can do some of that too. But I'm just saying, I think Jaren is more versatile of an offensive player. Now, Lauri's probably better overall offensively because he's so elite at the things he does well. And then Jaren is just miles ahead of Lauri defensively. And then I think the NBA right now is just headed to a place where if you have a talented lead guard, they're just going to be one of your best players because the ball is in their hands all the time. So I wouldn't be surprised if Keyonte has better stats overall than Lauri Markkanen this upcoming season.
So I want to look into the future really quickly, Chandler. It is March the 27th, and we have minimal injuries. Where are the Jazz in the standings today?
So, like I said, I think I would not have been surprised if the Jazz could have been a top 6 seed with Walker Kessler. Now, I think your range is anywhere from like 6 to 11 in the West. I think you have a massive range right now. And it is completely dependent on a lot of things. Most importantly, like we've talked about already, is what the defense looks like. And if you can have these guys sort of raise the floor of the group. Right now, I would pin them as a play-in team. I think that that's probably most likely. I think they'll be around 500. I think I heard you guys talk about an over-under for wins at like 39 to 41. I think they will be a 500 team. So I think that's a pretty good line. I would maybe
40 and a half.
I would maybe lean to the over, because here's the thing. ESPN recently put out their standings projections. They had the Jazz as the 10 seed in the West with 34 wins. I think the Jazz could have won 34 games last year if they didn't sit Lauri Markkanen and sit Keyonte George and all these things. But now you're
like the
adding
last
Jaren
20
Jackson.
games. Sit him for the last 20 games of the season. Sure.
Lowry's last game last year was on February 23rd. He didn't play any of March or April.
I mean, we got most of the season.
So I do think that they could easily get to that mark, and I think you'll be climbing around 500. I don't want to get into who they're better than in the West, but I will say I think they're in the conversation with like Phoenix, Portland. I have no idea what Golden State is going to be looking like. They're kind of a mess right now, but in that sort of range and sort of
where they better than them too.
Play in teams.
You could say it. They better than them too. Yeah.
They're definitively better than the Sacramento
Joe
Kings
been hating on
and the
Golden
Memphis
State for
Grizzlies.
7 years.
I'm sorry.
Who else are they definitively better than? You got to come up with 4 teams, right?
I think they're definitively.
They have to be definitively better than 4 teams.
Pelicans,
okay, so they definitely better than Sacramento. They better than Memphis. I think they better than Dallas, and they better than
whoa.
They not bad than us, but it's cool. Whatever. You can stay on that side.
But that's right. I forgot.
Memphis.
Yeah, they better than
but the Dallas one is the one that I'm having trouble with.
Yeah, I think they better than Dallas too.
The thing with
Dallas
I don't,
one.
and also talking about Portland, what is Dame and Kyrie gonna look like? Those are all-time guards. Don't get me wrong, but it's
Dame
like,
and Joe.
are they gonna like? What does that look like next year? And Portland, to me, I love Donovan Clingan. I love Denny Avdia. Both of those guys are awesome. But what is that for? Like, it borders on the, I don't want to say like too much talent, but too much overlap. Like, what are you doing with Dame, Ja, Drew, and Scoot?
If your projection that Lauri Markkanen could be your 3rd best player comes true, you will be a playoff team. Because that means the 2 players are definitively better than what I think is a top 25 player in the NBA. I think Lauri Markkanen is getting very slept on in this conversation. I think he's a really good player. And like, if you look at, again, it's hard because, as we've mentioned many times, the Jazz were trying to lose. He knows that. His teammates know that. The coaching staff knows that. But when I've seen Lauri Markkanen try to win with his national team, he cooks. Okay? This is a very, very skilled player who is very much in his prime, and as high as we can get on Keyonte George based on what he did last year, Darren Peterson for what he's going to be, Jaren Jackson for what he could be, I very much think there's not really a reality where Lauri is not one of the top 2 players on this team.
And let me add on to that really quick. I'm not projecting like necessarily that Lauri will be the 3rd best player. I'm just saying there is a world that happens. Yeah, he could be.
And I'm saying in that world, they're a playoff team.
Yeah. And the reason I say that is because for how Lauri's points come is as a byproduct of what the Jazz are doing already. You know, Keyonte and Jaren, they create offense. Lauri is a product of the offense. I'm not saying he can't get his own bucket sometimes, but a lot of his scoring comes off of, like I said earlier, pin downs or transition, stuff like that, right? While Keyonte, like Lauri is not a dribbler. Like you're not going to give him the ball at the top of the key and say, give him 3 dribbles and score. You know what I mean?
He's a play finisher.
Exactly. Meanwhile, you can give Jaren and Keyonte the ball and say, go get a bucket. I'm not saying Lauri can't do that, but that is how those 2 get their points. And that is the world where I'm saying Lauri could be maybe not even the 3rd best player, but 3rd leading scorer.
Yo, Chandler, you said 6 to 11. You could see them in that range. What would be more shocking for you? The Jazz ending up the 6th seed or the Jazz being the 11th seed?
I would say the 11 seed because I think either for both ends of those ranges, I think for 6, something has to go really right, and 11, something has to go really wrong. But the thought that I can't get out of my head with this team is you talk about culture and being ready to win and all this stuff, but I think that they're especially ready to win, and I think they might come out of the gates burning hot. You know, especially if you look at their schedule, the first like 6 to 10 games, they start on the road against the Memphis Grizzlies, then they have 5 straight home games. Mm-hmm. So, going back to this, what is going through my mind is could they be like one of these teams that are just crazy hot in the regular season and then just flame out in the playoffs because they're not ready for that level of basketball yet? You know, they just don't have that experience. I think of, what was it, like the 2021 or 2022 Kings when they were like the second seed in the West and then they just got bounced in the first round of the playoffs, but they were insane in the regular season. I'm not saying the Jazz are going to be the 2 seed, but I could see a world where they just have their head on fire for the regular season and then just like flame out first round.
That was a 23 season. We were the 3 seed, and we were also amazing in the playoffs. But you know, Steph Curry,
Fox got hurt.
And Fox did get hurt too. But just to clarify, because my
and we was gonna kick the Lakers' ass in the second round too.
My illustrious host over here, who is kind of clueless, Bron. Just so you know, in the last 3 years, Lauri Marketing, after the All-Star break, has played a grand total of these many games.
Is he going to be able to play after the All-Star break?
And I just want to put that out there, Ron. After the All-Star
are they not going to have to shut him down again?
Well, there are some injury concerns here.
There are.
In fairness, right? Darren Peterson had a pretty mysterious, issue that led him to hospitals, and we've talked about creatine. And do you think that's an ongoing concern, Chandler?
I am not a doctor, but I will say I was in the room after the draft pick was made, and Austin Ainge, GM of the Jazz, he said that they dove especially deep into that, and the press conference room, and that they said that it was not a concern for them. They had their doctors look into it. They had the test that came from the NBA Combine, and that it wasn't a thing. Now, in my mind, that is that's just what you say after you make that draft pick. So it could be 100% true, or it could be like, this is something we're going to be looking at, but we feel fine enough to draft him at 2. It could be either of those. And talking about other injury concerns, I'm not going to say that guys they were fake injuries for the past few years. When you talk about guys getting shut down,
you can say it.
But that's the thing.
We're all adults.
I don't think it was. Now, mind you, I don't think like for Jaren Jackson, he had surgery on his knee last year. You're not faking a surgery or getting an unnecessary surgery in order to be shut down. That was something that needed to happen. You're not putting a guy under a knife so you can lose games. You know what I mean? Like in that case, you're just making something else up.
These are cleanup surgeries, man. Teams do them all the time to tank.
Ties into what I'm about to say is the NBA season is long. Guys have bumps and bruises and minor injuries that if you're competitive, you'll play through. But in the case of the Jazz or any other rebuilding, tanking team, whatever, you're just going to be like, oh, you're not feeling your best today. Let's have you sit down. So I think that I don't think like if you're talking about other guys like a Joel Embiid or whoever else, I don't think there are like real bad injury concerns that you have to think about for the Jazz.
Another player, like we keep talking about, like Lauri and Triple J and Darren Peterson. I do think that a player that kind of made a stride last year was Ace Bailey, and he's getting going into a year 3, year 2. Two. I think he has some real off-ball juice. He showed some real polish as an off-ball scorer last year in some games, and then defensively he made some strides as well. I think he could be part of the improvement on the Jazz's defense. How do you see like Ace Bailey kind of fitting in on this team?
Yeah, after the Jazz lighted the second pick and drafted Darren Peterson, I think that Ace Bailey kind of became like a forgotten about member of this team. Like going back to the starting thing, like I don't think Darren Peterson is going to have 0 starts this year or under 5 starts like Dylan Harper last year, but I wouldn't be surprised if Ace Bailey is the starting 2 guard to start the season just because of what Will Hardy has shown, and he preaches a meritocracy, earn it and then you'll get it. So maybe that will be the case with Darren Peterson after a month of NBA action, but for Ace, I do think that he had a very slept on rookie year, and it's kind of tough because the conversation last year was between, when it came to the rookie of the year race, it was between Con Knipple and Cooper Flagg, rightfully so. Those 2 were amazing, and they by far should have been, or by far were the best 2 players. But then also you had Dylan Harper, who was awesome for San Antonio, and then VJ Edgecombe, who was a huge part of what Philly's going on. So just because that top 4 had so many storylines and big names, I think that Ace Bailey kind of was put on the back burner. And also, I don't think that the Jazz did the best job of highlighting him, and I don't even think that was really like a focus for them. I think that a lot of times, like for example, last year the Dallas Mavericks tried to highlight Cooper Flagg, even though that they were trying to tank. They played him in those games later in the season, and he would drop 50 points because they wanted him to be the rookie of the year. You know, they wanted to showcase that they had that guy. And I don't think the Jazz really did that at any point. But also he came around a lot later in the season, and I think he is a massive part. I think the best case for this Jazz team is in 2 or 3 years, your best 2 players are Ace Bailey and Darren Peterson.
I really could see that being the case too. But speaking of these two, obviously you guys got the number 2 pick. Can you kind of walk through, obviously, like you cover them, this is your team. Yeah, I'm assuming you love the Jazz. So like what was the feeling when, one, you guys got that number 2 pick, and then also, two, I want to know who you actually wanted with that number 2 pick as well.
Yeah, so I was live on the radio during the draft lottery, you know, watching this as it going down and talking about everything. And me and my co-host Ben Anderson, shout out to him, we do the podcast together as well. We walked into the room, we're like, all right, Jazz are gonna get the 7th pick or whatever it is, and we're gonna have to talk about all these like 10 different names over the next few weeks leading up to the draft about who we think they're gonna pick. But then they landed number 2, and it was definitely excitement. I will say I try to be unbiased. Like you might know this. I don't know if you have a favorite team from Seattle, but I was always kind of like an NBA fan, free agent. You know, I'm a huge Seattle sports fan for everything else. But it was cool because like I'm around the team and I'm around these guys all the time. So yeah, it was definitely cool. But yeah, I will say I wanted Darren Peterson. I think that was the best fit for the team because coming in, right, you had Keyonte, and this was my draft time. So the prospective starting lineup was Keyonte, question mark at the 2 guard, and then you had Lauri, Jaren, and Walker Kessler at the time, right? So we're like, okay, Darren Peterson fits perfectly into there. He brings this 2-way ability, which is sort of exactly what the Jazz are needing, right? Because you need, like I talked about, hopefully he can raise Keyonte, but also you just are lacking defense. So he brings some of that. And then also just his shot making is crazy. And also I talked about how he fits perfectly into Will Hardy's offense of ball movement, player movement. Because at Kansas especially, with all the injury stuff, he sort of opted for jump shots a lot more than he did getting to the rim. So, and the name of the game is shooting in the NBA right now. So I just think he checked all the boxes for what the Jazz needed.
Ron, we're looking at the Western Conference, and after 5, I mean, it gets tricky if we're being honest. At the 5, so you got the usual suspects: San Antonio, Oklahoma City, the Lakers, Houston, Denver,
Minnesota. That's 6 teams.
Okay, but after that, it gets tricky. I think after that, now we're looking at Phoenix, Portland, Utah, teams like that, Dallas.
Portland's in that top group, chill.
Utah's very interesting offensively because you do have 2 guards who can create their own shot, and you have bigs who are skilled. So there's, and Yusuf Nurkic is not useless. You know, at least offensively and defensively, he has a utility. He's a reasonable player. Exactly. So the roster makes a lot of sense. Here's what I'm seeing.
He just plays when he feels like it, though, Penn. That's my issue with him. He just plays when he feels like it sometimes.
So
that's my problem with him.
we listed out a whole bunch of really good defenders. I'm going to list out a bunch of really bad defenders. Isaiah Collier.
Okay.
Ace Bailey.
Yep.
Bryce Sensabaugh. Keontae George. The problem is they all play for the same team. Ace Bailey is not a good defender. Wasn't a good defender.
Ace Bailey by the end of the year was a bad defender.
Yeah, I don't think Ace should be in the group with Collier and Keyonte.
Well, I mean, earlier on we put Lauri Markkanen in the group with Keyonte George. So obviously we're being very liberal with these, assignments.
I don't agree with that sentiment either.
I definitely don't. And Lauri is not.
And who the defenders in Los Angeles with the Clippers outside of Chris Dunn on the perimeter?
Derek Jones.
Derek Jones
is he still on their crew?
Well, I mean, chill.
Yeah,
First of all, the Clippers. I'm surprised that the Clippers were not one of the 5 teams or 4 teams that Chandler thought his team was better than. So, I'm just saying, I mean, there's a world where this team is really awesome in the regular season, and I agree with Chandler that in the playoffs the defense will matter more because you're playing against a better defense, and obviously if you make the playoffs as the Utah Jazz, you're going to be going up against OKC or Denver or San Antonio. At which point, I don't think you have the defense to even be competitive in that series. It is meaningful, however, to take that first step. And I do think when you don't have a week to prepare for a team, you're going with a global game plan. You're not scouting every single player. So early on, this Jazz team could come out and score 135 points in a regular season game, 140 points in a regular season game, and just shock a couple of teams. Also, they are the Utah Jazz, which means naturally there's going to be a sleeping on them early in the season kind of, that's a bad team. They've been a bad team for 4 straight years, whatever. And they might catch they might. I'm not going to be surprised if they jump out to like an 8-2 start. I haven't looked at the schedule, so maybe that's impossible, but like a hot start. And then they taper off towards the middle of the season as teams start to figure them out, creep into the play-in, maybe have a big scoring explosion from like Darren Peterson or Keyonte George, or they have the firepower to stay in games. I don't know if they have the defense to close games. That's where I'm at.
That's a fair point. I'm gonna talk about that for a second, but let me real quick. When I talked about like where Utah could land in the standings,
sure.
Something that is like in my mind for that is there is a best case and a worst case for every team in the NBA, and there is a 0% chance that every single team hits their best case. You know what I mean? So it's like when I'm talking about how the Jazz might be, like, I'll just use the Mavericks because that was the one that got some contention. If the Jazz are better than the Mavericks, that means 1, the Jazz are having a good season, and 2, Kyrie isn't the same Kyrie, or, like the role players aren't doing their job. Like, there has to be things that go right and wrong when you're projecting standings for every team in the NBA.
Or
unless
maybe
you're
the
talking
Jazz
about
are
like
just
a
better
San
than what we
Antonio.
thought they were going to be. As good as Dallas is going to be, maybe the Jazz are better than what we thought they were going to be. And I still think Dallas could get busy, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Exactly, 100%. Kyrie could come back and be the same Kyrie, and they're in the same range or higher than what I'm talking about for the Jazz. 100%. Going to the defense thing, I don't think Ace Bailey is anywhere near the conversation of Keyonte George, Isaiah Collier, Bryce Sensabaugh. And here's the thing, I will agree with you right away. Keyonte and Bryce are 2 of the bottom 20 defenders in the NBA. There's an argument for each of those guys, bottom 5, bottom 10, and that doesn't bode well, right?
Collier
but
as
here's
well.
the other thing. Yeah, Collier. Yeah, but for Collier, it's like he's sort of like a Colin Sexton almost to me, where he has the effort and the hustle, but he's just undersized.
If we talk percentiles, Chandler, Bryce and Keyonte are like 2nd to 5th percentile defenders in the NBA. Like they are objectively in running for, as you say, bottom 20.
Yes.
If we go a level up, maybe Ace, and again, in my opinion, based on what I've seen, the numbers that I've looked at, Ace Bailey and Ace Bailey is in that conversation with, and Kyle Filipowski is not exactly above a 30th percentile defender either. Lauri Markkanen is not that far above a 35th percentile defender. So you're really asking Jaren Jackson to really stitch a lot of it together. I'm curious, who is the second guy who's going to help him do that other than Darren Peterson?
And that's what I was about to say will address this is when you talk about like Bryce Sensabaugh is the name that sticks out to me the most. Bryce Sensabaugh, he had 2 40-point games last year. He's an amazing shooter, right? Like he is a like definition of like a spark plug, coming off the bench. I don't know how much he plays this year, right? Because of what you just said. The Jazz are trying to be competitive. Everyone in the front office, on the roster, coaching, every level knows that they need to be a better defensive team. So if you're not making those strides, Bryce Sensabaugh, Svi Mikhailuk, and Josh Okogie are getting all of your minutes. If they show that they can play a little bit better defense than you, we have all the offense we need with Keyonte, Duren, Lauri, etc. We don't need more offense. So if you can't give us anything on the defensive end, you're not playing. That's just the fact of the matter. Josh Okogie, they just signed him to a 2-year, $12 million deal. My thought is you're not signing him to that contract unless he's getting minutes. And those might be Bryce Sensabaugh's minutes. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, yes, it is a worry, but also I think it's as simple as if you don't either continue being good or start being good, you're not going to play.
Well, it's also worth noting that like offense is more valued contractually and in trade value than defense. So you can always trade a little bit of your offense for a little bit of defense.
100%.
Like a guy like Dean Wade, that's a decent defender who's a little bit limited offensively. There's plenty of guys like this. Keon Ellis is another guy, good defensively, kind of bad offensively. I think you guys have an abundance of offensive talent. I would not be surprised to see the Utah Jazz for the substantial amount of the season be a top 10 offense and a bottom 5 defense. I think that would be a fair place to put them. And that, to me, results in a pretty average team.
Talking talking about what would have to go right for the Jazz this year, it is all reliant on defense, right? I will say, I don't want to say shocked. I would be definitely disappointed if the Jazz were a bottom 5 defensive team. They've been bottom 2 each of the last 4 years, but we talk about all the wishy-washy stuff that has happened, with lineups and who's playing and all this. You bring in Jaren, you bring in Duren, who at the very least, like I said, defensive playmaker, right? And then you also sign Josh Okogie. And even though when you talk about like Svi Mikhailuk, for example, he's not an amazing, he's not going to sell any tickets, but also he's going to be more consistent and he's going to be a better defender than Bryce Sensabaugh. So if you're bringing consistency, that's what's going to get you minutes on this Jazz team, because you keep in your top offensive talents. And if you're a good offensive talent, but you're not consistent, then that's not a recipe for winning. And the Jazz are trying to win this year. So that's why I say all those things about who might play and who might not. Yes, Bryce is extremely talented as an offensive player, but if he's not helping you win and he doesn't align with sort of the mission of this team, then he's not going to play. So yeah, I'm not saying it's out of the realm of possibility. Like I talk about, with best and worst case scenarios, I think being a bottom 5 defensive team is on the table, absolutely, for this Jazz team. But I would pin them somewhere probably between 15 and 20 defensively, if somewhere around there, and then top 10 offense. And then in that case,
that's exactly what I said up here. I said that the Jazz going to be a top 10 offense, and then they can hopefully be like a meddling defense, which is going to be enough for them to win some regular season.
Real talk, if they're a top 10 offense and they're average defense, I mean, it took 42 wins to get in the playoffs last year. That's what it took.
I'll bet anybody they're not going to be top 15 defensively. I'll bet anybody anything. I don't care.
I'll double it with them.
You don't think that they could be that?
I'm not going to bet, but I
hell no.
You don't think that they could be average?
No. So Nurkic is a pretty decent defender.
If they're in the top 20, I would be flabbergasted.
So you still think that they're going to be at the bottom of the league? Damn,
if they were a top 20 defense, I would be flabbergasted.
Their rebounding is going to improve. Their interior defense is going to improve. The
league also improved, though. There's no more tanking teams, Joe. Okay, tanking is dead.
We already went over this. Just because
top 20 means you have to be better than 10 defenses.
Name the 10 defenses they're better.
I need to hear
reverse engineer this. Go ahead.
Utah. So you can't just magically.
Sacramento.
That's number one. 100%.
You want to do this?
Sacramento, don't have New Orleans. You can have New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Okay.
Respect Eve Nisi. Come on.
I'll tell you. Okay, so let's not even talk about the top 10 defenses. They won't be better than Detroit defensively. They won't be better than Oklahoma City. They're not going to be better than Boston. They won't be better than San Antonio. The Knicks. Yeah. They won't be better than Cleveland defensively.
You're better off doing the bottom 10.
I don't think they're going to be better than Houston, Toronto. I don't think they're going to be better than Minnesota. I don't think they're going to be better than Philly defensively, Orlando, the Trailblazers, the Clippers. I think we got some action. I do think we got
Philly. What Philly looking like? Where Philly at?
Now,
Philly's going to be another terrible defense.
Here's the thing.
Philly's another team I would be shocked if they were in the top 20 as well.
Denver's another team you can say you'd be shocked to be top 20-ish.
I
wouldn't be shocked
if Denver was top 20, but I'd be shocked if they were top 15.
I think we got some action with the Golden State Warriors too.
I'd be flabbergasted. If the Jazz were a better defense than the Warriors, I would be flabbergasted.
Yeah, I was about to say, too, I don't agree with you on that one.
The reason why y'all don't agree with it is, and the reason why you guys don't agree with it is because of Draymond Green,
Porzingis,
and Jimmy Butler. All three of these
Jimmy's
guys,
not going to be there at the start.
Right, so Jimmy Butler's not going to be there. Porzingis has been in and out of the lineup for the last 3 years, not just with the Golden State Warriors, but for the last 3 years, he's been in and out of the lineup. So he's not going to be instrumental in what they're doing. Is Gary Payton even still on their roster?
Pods isn't a bad defender.
Pods is not a bad defender.
Pods is not a bad defender.
I don't think Pods is a bad defender.
They also just have way better defensive infrastructure. And I still subscribe to the culture thing. I do stand with Ron on that. I don't think you can just flip a switch and go from a bad defense to good because you try now. I don't think that.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
That's exactly what happened in Houston. That's exactly what happened in Houston.
Wait, hold on. The Raptors.
No, they changed the culture.
Houston was literally the opposite of this team.
Right. Here's the difference. They did have defense
across the board defensively, and they got rid of the bad defenders out of their rotation. The only bad defenders they were still playing was Jalen Green. Even Şengün wasn't bad on defense that year. Jalen Green was the only bad defender Houston was playing that year that they went from 22 wins to 41.
So,
Fred was a good defender. Jabari was a good defender. Mem was a good defender. Tari was a good defender. Şengün was good that year. Who else? Dylan Brooks was a good defender.
And none of them,
and with that, was good.
And with that being said, Moss, and with everything that you just said, who was the coach there? It was Silas. Is that not correct?
No, it was Ime.
He was the one who changed what they had. Now, don't get me wrong. I do think that they had the personnel in Utah. I don't think that in terms of personnel, they're not Houston. I'm not going to argue that point. I don't think that they're that good. But what I am going to argue is that in terms of personnel, in terms of players to compete on defense and get better, they can do that. And
they can
again,
get better.
I think
go
that
from the worst defense in the league.
I think that with Will Hardy, I think the biggest issue that we have here is the effort. Because when guys buy into what you're trying to do, you see a different effort. When guys buy into what you're trying to do in terms of your schemes, gaps get filled quicker. Rebounding becomes better. All of this stuff happens when guys buy in. There's a reason why, to your point, Moss, this Houston team, even though they had the personnel, they got better because they bought in to what Ime was doing. And Ime made it clear, if you're not going to do this, your ass ain't playing. And how many times have I seen, really quickly, Penn, how many times have I seen Will Hardy on the sideline? I can't remember how many times I've seen the coach. It's just sick of this. I'm tired of this. So one of two things has to happen. These guys buy into the system and they get better, or they don't, and Will Hardy's going to be fired.
Two examples that are not the Houston Rockets. One is the Detroit Pistons. They went from 28th to 13th to, I think last year they were 2.
Personnel, though.
2 or 3. Okay, yes, some personnel has changed. Toronto went from 25th, 17th to 5th.
Coaching.
So
personnel. Like,
hold on.
These guys don't have a Scotty Barnes. They don't have in a Min Thompson. They don't have Taris. They don't.
Okay,
like you guys have Jaren Jackson Jr.
Hang on. Asar Thompson was on that 28th defense. Okay, he was a rookie, but he was on that team. Scotty Barnes was on that 25th defense. He was surrounded by horrible players and they were tanking, but that doesn't matter. My point is, in every example we've seen, it's not like a team goes from 28th to 2nd. That has not happened, does not happen, and it will not happen unless Victor Wembanyama becomes a free agent and you sign him. So, or Rudy Gobert. Like, those are the only two guys that I can think of that can single-handedly, they step on your roster and you jump up 15 spots. So what's going to happen for the Jazz is this year, they're going to have to exit the basement. You know, like when you exit the basement in your house, you go to the first floor. You don't exit the basement and go to the penthouse. So we're going to have to go from the basement, and we're going to try to hopefully aspire to top 20. Aspire to be not the basement. Okay, and then now, if we can get to 16, 17, then we've had a phenomenal season. And now we're going to probably swap out some of the offensive talent for a little bit of defense so that we're not relying on Yusuf Nurkic and Svi Mykhailiuk to carry us when Jaren Jackson isn't on the court, because that's not a recipe for a top 10 defense. And now maybe we can trade a Lauri Markkanen, who's going to be damn near 30, for a defensive upgrade at the center. You know what I mean? So now we'll maybe aspire. You're not jumping into the top 10 after being this bad defensively for 2 years. I don't care if you were tanking.
Well, no one suggested that, but I also want to make it abundantly clear. Going from the worst defense in the league to the 21st defense is a major improvement.
Sure.
That's like 5 points defensively.
Which is what San Antonio did, Moss. Just so we
clear. So like even like
Wemby.
Denver had a 117 defense. They were 21st. The Jazz last year had a 122.3. That would mean the Jazz defense is improving by 5 points per 100 possessions just to get to 21st last year. That's a big jump. Like me saying they going from where they were, which is some of the worst defenses I've ever seen in my life, to them just being a regular below average or bad defense. That's still a big jump. You guys projecting average. Like I can't. That's
Penn,
that's
to your point when you talk about. I do get the logic, Penn, that San Antonio did have Wemby.
That's
yes, they did.
They
went from they literally were at the bottom of the league defensively. They did. They went from the bottom of the league defensively to 22nd, and then from 22nd to numero uno. Or I think they were top 3, and they had Wemby. I'm not gonna argue that. But you literally just told me like an hour ago that it ain't 15 defenders in the game better than Jaren Jackson. It's not 15 of them better than him.
Say that.
Yes, you did. We were running down defenders, and it's not 15 of them better than him. So with that being said, if I got
a 20, but okay.
Okay, let's just say 20. All right. So if there's
but I'm also one of those people that thinks they lost their best defender this year. I think Walker Kessler is one of those 20 players that's better defensively. I think Chandler doesn't think that's.
You think he's the best?
I also think that it's important when you bring up. yes, I think he's a better defender. I think his
Overall.
value is greater. Yes, he's a better rebounder. He's a better defender. We already know that I factor rebounding as part of defense. However, what I will say is that when you talk about the Spurs, it's not just Wemby. Of course, that's the majority of the
Castle is
pie.
a big deal as a defender. Sure,
Yes, but also consider the team that you're comparing them to versus last year was also a younger team. Also, De'Aaron Fox is not a bad defender. They added him, right?
Sure.
Julian the Champagny jump, like he's not a bad defender.
Vassell
Carter
ain't a bad
Bryant,
defender
they don't
either.
play bad defenders, so they don't have an abundance of weaknesses. Like, let me put it this way: if you take the Utah Jazz roster right now and all those players that I ran down, from the Bryce Sensabaughs to the Lauri Markkanens, even like the average-ish defenders like the Kyle Filipowskis who are on the lower end, those guys are not top 10 defenders on San Antonio right now. Nobody on this team other than Jaren Jackson is a top 10 defender in San Antonio right now. Maybe Yusuf Nurkic is like the 8th defender. My point is, you can't compare these two teams. Not one has possibly one of the greatest defenders we've ever seen in NBA history. The other one has Jaren Jackson, who we're debating is a top 20 defender. These are different levels and scales. The gap between the best defender, which is Wemby, and Jaren Jackson, who arguably is 15 to 20, is bigger than the gap between Jaren Jackson and the 80th best defender.
Well, the reason why I'm comparing them is because, again, they were at the bottom of the league. Now, I do understand that you get Wemby, and I think Wemby makes you substantially better. And then the next year you get Stephon Castle, who also makes you substantially better. And then you get Carter Bryant, who also
and Jalen Harper, who's not a bad defender either, and Devin Vassell, who's not a bad defender, and Harrison Barnes, who's not a bad defender. It's like you go down the list.
Sure, I'm not arguing that point. The point that I'm arguing is that the Utah Jazz, for them to be as bad as they are, with the schemes that they have, a lot of the stuff that I see with the Utah Jazz is effort. That's a lot of the stuff that I see with them. It's not that they're just overall bad defender. Like this dude just sucks as a defender. A lot of this stuff is just effort. A lot of these guys, like Keyonte George, for example. Keyonte George, and I know how you feel about him, Mars, but I have watched an unhealthy amount of Utah Jazz games last year. And I did. And with me watching an unhealthy amount of Utah Jazz games, how many times did I watch Keon George close out? How many times did I watch Keon George close out slow and just get blown by? That's effort. He knows how to close out. He's just not closing out with enough effort to be the guy that spots. How many times have I watched them get their ass kicked on the glass because Lauri Markkanen was leaking out after the shot instead of him getting on the glass?
That could be scheme too. Hold up. No, guys off the line could also be scheme. I
1000% believe the Lauri Markkanen leaking out thing is scheme related, and I've said that many times. But you're just more optimistic about Keyonte George.
Running guys off the line is also scheme related. Hold on.
I will hop in and say though that I don't think that specific example is scheme, because even though the Jazz have been a bad team, we have talked about how at least Will Hardy has potential as a coach, but I personally would say that I think he's a good coach. I don't think your scheme is running somebody off the line if you have Yusuf Nurkic back there. You know, that's not
right.
Walker Kessler. He was out all of last year. I'm not like running someone off the line is absolutely
depends on the player though, no? Like if the player is not a good finisher and he's a lights out 3-point shooter, you are running him off the line. If it's Juan Knipple, of course I'm running him off the line. Chill, what are you doing?
I agree with that part, but I was plenty of time. Like I watched that double overtime game against Chicago. They're running Josh Giddey off the long ball line. What are you doing?
Okay,
what's going on right now, Mars? What's happening? I'm losing my mind.
The Jazz have major know your personnel issues. That's something you watch a lot. Like I do agree. They'll run non-shooters off the line, and then they'll close out short to shooters. But they have major issues when it comes to that.
That's the thing. To his point, I don't think it's a know your personnel problem. I think it is a effort problem. Like it is these guys are not playing winning basketball because that hasn't been a focus. And here's the thing, for Keyonte George, I don't want to say, like, last year he made a major jump, especially in his mindset. Like, he knew what he needed to do in order to be in the NBA for a long time, because he was in the draft class where outside of him and Cason Wallace and I think one other name that I'm forgetting right now, no other so many other guards are either on to their next team or out of the league. You look at Cam Whitmore. You know, he's on his third team already. He was in a guy who was pre-draft in the conversation.
Kobe Buffkin, Grady Dick, a lot of guys just gone.
All those guys. Keyonte sort of had a realization moment where he's like, oh, I need to step it up if I want to, be on this team and be a major part of this team going forward. Mm-hmm. That's why he went to Finland to work out with Lauri Markkanen last year. He did that again this offseason. Point is, I still think, to his point, that there is a effort thing. I think that Will Hardy is a smart coach. Again, to be seen, like I said when I first hopped on here, is there are questions about what his like scheme and what his ability as a coach is defensively. Is it a personnel thing? Can he just not get effort out of his players, or is that going to come this season? I think those are all valid questions. And going back, I don't think the Jazz are going to be a top 15 defense. I don't think that's in the cards for them. I think a best case scenario is 15-20. Like I said, not top 15, top 20. 15-20 is the best case. And then, like you said, maybe you trade for a center, make some other defensive improvements. Then you can make that second, third year jump like you guys were talking about.
Go ahead. No,
go ahead. No, you good.
Okay. Well, I just want to go back a couple seconds, maybe 45 seconds to a minute and a half or whatever. The whole running guys off the line thing, it's just a cop out. Can we just call it what it is? Can we call it what it is? It's a cop.
What are you talking about, like the funneling thing?
It's a funneling. It's a cop. I mean, yeah, you got to know your personnel, but it's a cop out. It's lazy defense. It's bad defense. Call it what you want. You're not at this level of basketball. These running guys off the line and fly-by closeouts it doesn't work when you have guys that are really shooting the basketball, because it's really as simple as sidestep or pump fake and then just shoot the ball. It's not good defense. You know what I mean? Like it's just a cop out, yo. Like we got to stop like categorizing and giving names to bad defense. We have to stop categorizing and giving names to just cop out lazy shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's
I don't think it's lazy.
It's like Matador defense. Where a guy goes by you and you just reach when you should just take one more step over and take the charge or cut him off.
And I want to be clear about this, that I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything, and I don't expect everybody to agree with me. But once again, I'm just calling it as I see it. I'm reporting the news. When you got elite basketball players in an elite basketball league, and you got guys just running out, flying by, or running the guys off the line, you're just giving them wide open jump shots. And you know,
what if they're bad? Is there anything that would change your mind on that? What if they're a bad mid-range shooter? What if they're a bad paint finisher?
Because you're not forcing anybody to go to the mid-range. You're not forcing anybody to go to the cup. If I'm a shooter and I want to shoot this three and I'm not already in the air, feet off the ground, you're not forcing me to do anything but watch you fly by me. I look back, I say, stupid. It did not shoot the ball.
That's funny.
I do agree with the fly-by closeouts. I've never.
The fly-by closeouts is one of the most ridiculous things that I've ever. And you know what? It's not always so ridiculous to do it, because I understand in the heat of the moment. I'm just trying to. I see Klay Thompson. I'm just trying to get there. I see Con Knipple. I'm just trying to get there. I understand in the heat of the moment, just trying to get a hand up and get in. You know, I might fly by. It happens. It's a part of the game. But what I can't get with is teaching it. Is
it's very lazy. It is very lazy.
I can't get with putting that as a part of my scheme, as we're just gonna run out and just jump out, fly by. Like, no, because then not only that, but Penn, to your point too, I'm also, if I don't have a Rudy Gobert, if I don't have a Victor Wembanyama, I am leaving it all up to these guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting the big guy here in a bad situation. If they have a good offensive scheme, they're still keeping spacing. It's not like everybody's just collapsing. Like that was 4-on-5 in a league where everybody can shoot. So that's my personal opinion. Once again, if you don't agree, that's fine. I'm just saying I think that's lazy defense. I think it's a cop out. You know what I mean? And you know, once again, it happens though. It is a thing that happens in the heat of the moment. Absolutely,
fellas. I gotta grab the steering wheel. And
grab it
before, then hey, guess what? We all gonna fly off the freeway. Hey, we gonna fly by on the freeway into wherever we going.
Chandler, get out the car.
Get out, yo.
Anybody want to get out right now?
Yo, Chandler. All you gotta do is say, "Let me out, dog."
That's it.
Hey Chandler, you already in here today. There's child lock on the door. You can't, buddy. You can't go nowhere.
He's a kidnapper.
Before we get to these super chats,
my jaw hurts.
Chandler, I'm asking everybody in this, all of our content creators that come on for their respective teams. I'm asking them one simple question. So just to give you some background knowledge on why we're doing this order, we started with the Phoenix Suns yesterday. Obviously, we're with the Jazz today. We're doing the Clippers tomorrow. We're ending with the New York Knicks. And then before that will be the Oklahoma City Thunder. Before that will be the Boston Celtics. We're going in reverse order of teams that haven't won a championship. So You guys are in the category of the teams that haven't won a championship. I want to ask you, when do you believe that you guys will win a championship?
So, I'm gonna be a bit long-winded here because this is actually a big thing specifically in like Jazz discourse right now.
Mm-hmm.
So many fans were extremely upset about the Walker Kessler trade because they saw it as, we just went through this 4-year rebuild with Walker Kessler. We were finally looking like a complete competitive team, but now with the Walker Kessler trade, it's just like you're kicking the can further down the road, right? I will say I get that 100%, but I also think that what the Lakers offered, you kind of couldn't turn down for Walker Kessler, for a non-all-star big, you know? Like, mind you, Walker Kessler, he has all these things that make him a great player. That's besides the point. I think that the Jazz are uniquely positioned both with talent, current all-star talent in Jaren Jackson and Lauri Markkanen, future talent in Darren Peterson, Ace Bailey. You can add Keyonte George into that. And then also you have assets, right? You have the Lakers picks. You still have some of the Cavs picks from the Donovan Mitchell trade and the Minnesota pick from the Rudy Gobert trade. They're uniquely positioned both with assets, talent, and flexibility, right? I think that a Jazz title contending team would be with Darren Peterson and Ace Bailey as your best two players, right? So that depends on development, of course, but I think that means you're looking at a real contending Jazz team somewhere between 3 to 5 years down the line, right? So you guys talked about a potential Lauri Markkanen trade for a center or someone else who can sort of fill out your roster a little bit better. So yeah, I do think that, first of all, the most important thing is you're hoping Darren Peterson evolves into a top 5 guard, top 10, 15 player in the NBA. You're hoping Ace Bailey can be a really good co-star. Like maybe you look at those two on the wings as sort of like a Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum sort of dynamic. And then you sort of figure out who fits well with them when they're at their best, whether that be Keyonte, Jaren, Lauri, whoever. And then, of course, like has been a major talking point for the past 20 minutes, you need to make major strides defensively. I don't think you have the personnel right now to be a top 10 defense. So I think you need to figure that out in the coming years. And I think probably the main thing for that would be to be acquiring a center, a true center who can be a part of your core for the at least the short-term future, whatever that looks like. So yeah, first thing, development. Second thing, major defensive improvements. And then the wild card would just be like, can Jaren show to be one of the like 5 best two-way players in the NBA? Can Keyonte have, like I heard this talked about earlier, can Keyonte have that Tyrese Maxey jump? Can he be like a most improved all NBA level player? Because if you have Keyonte and then if Keontae's at that level, but still Ace Bailey and Darren Peterson are your best two players, I think no matter what, you're a contending team with that much talent. So those are the things that I would highlight for a potential.
I would slow down on a contending team. I'm slowing down on that part. But in order to make strides towards contending, you do have to change some things. And, and you need that one season. Like the Rockets went from a lottery team to a middle of the pack team to a playoff team. And then the next year they had expectations of contending, whether it was real or not. They had those expectations. So I guess we got to see if the Jazz follow in those footsteps. That's my prediction for them. Like, can they make that Houston Rockets jump from going to win 27 games to 41-41? Or the Phoenix Suns jump?
That's exactly what I'm saying with the Walker Kessler trade is I don't think there was any world where the Jazz were going to be a sneaky contender or a top seed in the playoffs this year, right? So I think that yes, you're a little bit worse off this upcoming season, but it's not like you were going to be in those conversations regardless, and you brought in all those assets. So I think it bodes well for the future. If there were to be a contending Jazz team, it'll likely be in 3 to 5 years.
I do like you guys as young players and assets that you have, the picks. I don't know if you know this based on what was said in this episode. I love Ace Bailey.
I do
love Ace Bailey.
I can't tell.
I didn't say nothing wrong about Ace Bailey this episode. In fact, Ace Bailey, I'm not gonna go there, but I do like the direction you guys are moving in, and then also too, you can still flip Jaren and get whatever you could get from him as well. So like
Jalen Duren, I wouldn't be surprised if y'all flipping for Jalen Duren.
Chandler,
I'm gonna just be the first person to say it, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Who are they flipping? They flipping who for Jalen Duren?
Jaren Jackson Jr. for Jalen Duren. I'm telling you, I can see that happening just because of
Oh
just
my
because of the contract situation in
God.
Detroit.
more
Michigan
defense
State
for
ties, too.
offense. Uh-oh.
I was about to say I would do that trade for Lauri before I do it for Jaren.
That makes sense.
Not saying
mean,
it's gonna happen, but
Duren.
I mean, you might
Duren
can
and
do.
Jaren would be fun.
Yeah, you might can do that. I'm saying I think Jalen Duren ends up in Utah if this situation happens because Utah has A, they're gonna have the cap space. B, they're gonna have trade pieces that can make sense for Detroit because Detroit would need a Lauri marketing. To be honest with you, I think Lauri could help. Even if they do get Jaren Jackson, they could use Jaren Jackson over there with their defensive presence and the way Jaren Jackson can stretch the floor with Kay Cunningham. So I can see Jalen Duren popping up in Utah, and I think it works for Utah. I think they need a good screen setter in Utah, somebody that can set screens for their guards. I don't think they have that right now. They play good offense without that. And imagine if they do get it, somebody that can score around the basket, make it a little bit easier for them. And that's a culture shifter. Jalen Duren going over there to barbecue. He putting that pit out on Sundays. So, I think that's the culture shifter that they could need. I can see it. With this trade stuff getting messy, I can see it. Hopefully Utah. And Jalen Duren might be a Danny Ainge guy.
Detroit is not losing Jalen Duren, though. I don't think they are. They're gonna pay him.
I think they are. I don't think they're gonna pay him, Chill. And the reason why I say that, and I know it switched the subject just a little bit, but I think for the amount of money,
same topic.
for the amount of money that he's going to command, and I'm not one of those guys who only look at offense on the basketball. But when you making that much goddamn money, you better be able to hold your own on offense. Like at a
They got to translate, and they got to
to
translate into the playoffs too. I think that's the most important thing. It has to
And
translate.
so that's why I
into the
don't think.
playoffs. And it hasn't.
I don't think
with
they pay him.
It hasn't
they
with
pay
him. But I mean, from what he was when they first got him to what he is today, and the fact that they raised him, and the fact that they were the ones who helped transform and turn him into that. I mean, to hand him over for a bucket of extra crispy.
It ain't no bucket. If they get Lauri market, that's not no bucket. I've been
talking about Lauri marketing for a year now. Detroit.
That's what I'm saying. That should have got Lauri marketing a long time ago.
I've been talking about Lauri marketing but with all of that being said, Ron brought up a really
they're the one in championship this year.
Really interesting point about a championship window. So just so you know, Chandler, I was around in the 90s when the Jazz were championship contending team. A lot of people don't recognize Utah is rocking and rolling when that place has a championship contending team. That is not a bad place to play. I promise you. As much as you guys talk about it's not attracting free agents, when they rolling like that, automatically Utah becomes a very attractive place. A very attractive place.
They're already on like 400 straight sellouts, and if you do the math, that's like all of the rebuilding years. So it's like if you think about it, like it is a thing to talk about with Utah. Like it is a popular thing where like there's not the greatest nightlife and stuff. So what do you have to do on a Thursday at 7 p.m.? You go to the Jazz game.
Come to the Delta Center. Come to the Delta Center. Come hang out. Come watch some good basketball.
Or you can sit in the garage.
I want to do something real quick. It's 5 rapid fire questions for Chandler, and you can only answer with 1 to 2 words. Okay, you can't go over that, or you get called Caleb. Then okay.
Go.
Number 1, who is the number 1 trade candidate on this team?
Candidate? Lauri Markkanen.
When will the Jazz win their next playoff series? And
27-28 season.
who will the coach be?
Will Hardy.
Who will the star be?
Darren Peterson.
Darren Peterson will be an X-time All-Star. Solve for X.
I'll go 9-time All-Star.
Okay.
Damn.
And my optimism about the season is Y out of 10. What is Y?
Next season?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'll go 7.
Dope.
Fair enough.
Those were good questions.
Fair enough.
Good job, Pid. I always knew that you had this in you. I knew.
We know that you don't, though. We know that for a fact. If we don't know nothing, we know that you do not. That's what we do know.
I'm curious, Pin. Could you do that if it was the opposite way, way around?
Yeah, easily.
Can you give us a realistic answer?
For the Raptors? I'm talking about like
Answer
I'm talking about like 2-word answers.
No.
Don't worry. We'll see during the Raptors episode.
No, but that was fine. Those
I'm not going to be the guest on the Raptors.
Hey,
those are really good questions, though. I like that segment. Great questions.
All right, fellas. Well, we're going to go ahead and get around to these super chats. Salute to everybody that is watching right now. I need everybody to stop what they're doing if you are watching. And usually this is when I say like the video. This is usually when I say subscribe. But don't do that. I need you to go follow Chandler Holt right now. Hey, can you give him your socials?
Yeah, I'm at Holt Sports on all platforms. Instagram and X is where I'm most active, but I'm everywhere. And then if you want to read some of my stories, some of my articles, they're all on KSLSports.com.
Hey, Chandler, for real though, this is one of the better. Mars mentioned it earlier when we have a guest come on and they're not really all that good. They don't come back on. You really have been cooking like this whole episode. I've been digging your takes, been digging everything you've been talking about. We definitely got to get you back on. And not just for the fact that you talk ball good, you know ball and all of that, but really like the Jazz are one of the more polarizing teams in the league right now in terms of like whether they could take that jump. So like I'll probably say like mid-December, we got to check in, man, and we got to see what for better or for worse. We gotta check the pulse of the Jazz and see what's going on.
Chandler, today was such a good episode when you came on. See, Chandler, if you don't, I know you don't know me, Chandler, but if you did, you would know that I've had the same $3 for the past 3 years.
Still got that $3
yes. I took a class with, from Penn and Swiper, and I turned that 3 into 4. And now I had to take a loan this morning to get another $1 so I can have 5. And I spent that whole $5 to let Ron know we need to get you under contract.
I appreciate it. I have fun.
Chandler, how tall are you if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 6'5".
6'5".
Damn.
So, hey, you be dunking?
Real talk, you frequent a basketball
I've been in
platform.
the gym recently. I was dunking like a year or two ago, but I'm up to 240 right now, so I'm not dunking right now.
Oh, okay.
You how much? You up to how much?
I'm up to 240 right now.
Damn.
But before we get him under
Now,
before we get him under
like
contract,
235, 240 2 months ago, so I feel you.
before we get him under contract, can we do one thing, Ron? Can we get his name right? Can we do that? Before we do anything, like
we got his name right. It's C-Holt.
I just want to make sure that we if we signing him, we get his name right.
He got a pretty booming social media following right here.
Sir.
Look at that.
All right. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's me.
Not him.
I play for the Wildcats. That's me for sure.
For sure, man. Go.
Home, man. Might be a tough topic.
Yes, sir.
Hey, shout out Caleb though, for real. Caleb, yeah, all right. But all right, the first super chat I'm gonna read is from Dub Ball Out Highlights. Said, fellas, 2K is up on us, and I wanted to know what position or build are you looking to make day one? Even chat, what are some builds y'all have made so far?
Mars.
I retired from 2K 6 years ago.
I made a 6'11".
Living out your dream.
I don't know, a player comp, but I guess like a Kevin Durant, Lauri Markkinen type hybrid thing.
I'm going for the Jared Sullinger, tweener build. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm looking for.
I don't play 2K. I've been stopped letting them scam me out of money years ago.
Okay, so you out on?
I ain't played 2K in a couple years, but my homies got me back on it this year, and I got forced into the center build, so I'm gonna be a glass cleaner.
I'm trying to get back into the video games. Man.
I should have been on the video games because I would have been a streamer for sure. Well, I used to be playing the shit out of 2K.
You are a streamer.
No, I'm talking about a gamer streamer.
Them gamers be making bread.
Yeah, they may
boy,
be my
shout out
only
my boy
motivation
Trey
to start
Soul.
playing video games again.
Shout out my boy Trey Soul, boy.
Yeah.
Telling you, boy. I used 2K.
Once GTA
boy, I'm
come
getting
out.
on that my GM mode. I'm getting on that my
Yeah,
GM
I ain't
mode.
gonna
I
lie.
do every player in
GTA
the
drop.
NBA.
You might not see me on here for a little week. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah.
Mars, you played GTA before?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't see Mars playing GTA, bro. I just can't.
Why?
I just think
Mars be doing diabolical shit on GTA.
No, because his
Mars
ass too
goes
logical.
around
His
shooting
ass too
civilians
I do
for
diabolical
no
shit
reason,
on
for sure.
GTA.
He shoots
Mars has
civilians.
two
If
for
there
no
is a
reason.
clock tower, I am
Absolutely.
climbing it.
And you know, like in Vice City, you know how I used to be in that strip club.
But what?
Pixelated titties.
For sure on Vice City. Hey, boy, on San Andreas, boy, I'm picking
I ain't
up
gonna
the
lie.
hookers. Boy, you
Based
tripping,
on the way
boy.
the
I'm buying
graphics in
hookers on
GTA
San
6
Andreas, boy.
looking, that shit might be like real life. So
Well, it's supposed to have a job in there, man. It's supposed to have jobs for people so they can, make about $60,000 a year. So
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, for real, for real?
That real quick.
no, I'm dead ass serious. They're supposed to have they're supposed to create jobs for real people. Like seriously.
Nah, that's
Aiden Ross,
crazy.
Aiden Ross be talking about it.
That's dope though. Like really, you know what I'm saying? Really, just the economy.
So what you're saying is like you'll
That's
actually
job
go to the
creation.
strip club and it'd be like OnlyFans person that's in the thing like.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they have so many servers inside
Oh.
of GTA that they're gonna be
damn.
able to hire people to work the servers. Like
Hey,
that
job
type of
creation,
stuff.
man. And the best way to make money, make somebody else some money, man. That's fire.
Yeah, they've been talking about it for like the last couple of months. How these servers is gonna be able to like actually have people to create a living for them.
Right.
It's like mods. Shit, some people with the mods. But
Shout out GTA, man. All right, official J. Cruz Creates sent through $10 and said, "Are
Oh
we
my
ready?"
goodness,
Nah,
this
you bring your
dumbass
ass to the top
fucking
row.
boy,
Nope.
yeah, I seen someone
too.
cook real talk.
This is so
Come on, yeah. Come to the top row. Are we ready to overreact, or are we ready to react to Olivia Miles getting guarded like a number one option?
This is sick.
The Valks had her shook. There has been critique that she isn't guarded tight due to her team being so stacked. Asia might win MVP again.
What you
She's
mean,
been
Mike?
guarded like
She
a
should.
number one
She should
option
win MVP
because
again.
she's been the Lynx number one option all season long. Dummy. As soon as Olivia had a bad game, here come all the CC Avengers. Oh, look, she finally had a bad game. Cause look, that is the worst fan base in sports right now.
Let's
That's the
not.
fact,
Let's stop.
bro.
Let's stop. Wait. Let's
That's
stop
the
putting
fact.
this on
It's the
CC.
worst.
You know why
fan-
you think that? Because
It's
all you
them.
do is hate on her.
Them.
That's all you
It is
do.
They have to come
That's all
for
you
you.
do.
It
We
is
have to come for
them.
you.
That's all
No,
you do.
first off, that wasn't even for me. I saw that tweet. They just randomly start hating on Olivia Miles. They ain't got nothing to do with me. As soon as Olivia has a bad game. Oh, see, getting guarded like CC. Who says Olivia Miles hasn't been guarded like a number one option all year when she's been the number one option? That's dumb. It's dumb and idiotic. They don't know basketball. All they do is ride for Caitlin Clark. They don't know nothing about basketball. They sit here bringing up
turn this
points,
into Kevin
created
Clark hate is
stats.
crazy.
You see,
Created stats. This is crazy.
Chandler,
The
you
worst
see
can we
what's
just-
going on here?
Can we just talk about the Valkyrie are just a good team? They're
They had a
good
great
team.
night. They finally beat the Lynx after 4 tries.
They play
Congratulations.
really good defense. They play really good defense. Olivia doesn't have it going. It's just part of the game, man. It's part of the game, y'all. It happens. But the part about Asia might win MVP, like, come on, y'all. There's no might about this. Just give her the trophy. She's the GOAT. She's gonna win MVP this year. She's gonna win MVP next year. She's the best player you guys have ever seen play basketball.
No,
Let's
she
just
isn't.
have-
No,
let's
she
just
is
have-
not.
Let's just go
No,
on
she
with
is
it, man.
not.
Let's
I've
just go
seen her.
on with it.
I've
But I
seen
do
her
gotta
going up
ask-
against her future husband, and her future husband wouldn't let her score on her. But she's the best basketball player ever.
She's the best basketball player you've ever seen.
I know.
But
No,
real
she is
talk,
not.
real talk.
She's not the best
I do
basketball
got.
player
I do
ever.
got to
No
ask you
kidding.
though, because it's like, so I asked you the other day. You got who do you got number 2? Kelsey or
I don't think
Olivia?
it's just
Like,
a rap that.
oh, okay.
I
Well,
really
forget
don't.
about it. Who do you think got more action though, Kelsey or Olivia?
Who got more action at it is Olivia, but I actually think this. Arguably, Kelsey Mitchell has been a balling this year.
She's been playing amazing.
It's
she about
absolutely
to be the first player
crazy.
in WNBA history to get 1,000. So
1,000
what
what?
she's doing this year is absolutely.
I think
She's
1,000
averaging
points in
basically
one season.
the equivalent
Asia's
of
done
30 a
that twice.
game for the WNBA.
Oaks know everything.
Asia's done that
5
twice.
true shooting.
It's
I
just-
think
She's
they say. I think they
She's never been
said.
this efficient.
She might be the
She's never
first
been this
guard.
efficient.
Kelsey might be the first guard.
I think she's the. Yes, I think she is the first guard to do it.
She's
But
shooting
no,
yeah, the
45.5%
first guard.
from
Yeah, the first guard.
3.
She's the first
Yeah,
guard
I
to
mean,
do it.
okay.
Oh, so she's
I'm just-
2016 Steph right now.
I'm just curious though, because it's just awfully funny how we change criteria depending on leagues and depending on
Definitely depending on leagues for sure.
Yeah, it's depending on leagues, depending on because
Sure.
when Nafisa Collier goes down and Olivia has her team where she does, she should get MVP because she did this without fee.
Are you about to make this about
But when Jaylen Brown does, when Jaylen Brown,
makes the game better than Jaylen Brown. That's why.
All right, for sure. I just
Didn't
really
Jaylen Brown lead the
think
Eastern Conference in scoring?
No, they're gonna show you some on-off numbers. Don't worry.
That's all. That's it. Don't worry about it.
Oh my goodness!
Hey,
How
but
dare
I
people bring
do
up
wanna say
impact
this, though,
metrics? Oh.
Hey,
I
don't think on-off numbers.
I do want to say this though.
It's just
Uh,
it's
Because
not.
I was a part
They
of
are
the
impact metrics.
because I was a
I
part of the
don't think
Olivia
so.
Miles
That's
train.
whatever.
And
I was a
not
part of
not
that
only
Olivia
that,
Miles train.
because Olivia still had K-Mac and
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown had Derek White.
And Jackie
Chase,
Young.
K-Mac,
First of all, Jackie Young
and-
killed it. And Jackie Young.
Derek White, let some tell it.
No, not Jack. She had
not Jackie
Natasha.
Young.
She had
Courtney
Natasha Howard.
Natasha,
Courtney.
Courtney, yeah.
Courtney
Courtney.
and
Yeah,
Natasha.
Courtney
I forgot
Williams.
about Courtney. I forgot
Yeah.
all about
I don't know
Courtney.
how you forgot about
But
Courtney.
but she had Natasha was balling, K-Mac was balling, and I forgot. Damn, man, she had
Olivia
Courtney.
Miles has been arguably the best player at her position. Jaylen Brown was not that. He's not.
But I will say this though.
Yes, he was.
About the Olivia
That's
Miles.
insane.
About the Olivia Miles thing, because I thought for sure I was cool with Olivia winning MVP. But then I start thinking about it. It's just a little voter fatigue. Asia Wilson. for sure
Olivia
supposed
don't
to
got.
win.
Olivia has no action at MVP drinks. No
It's
action at
for
all.
sure. It's,
Yes,
if
that is
anybody's
not
gonna win
true.
MVP,
He
That's-
definitely
that
has
could-
action.
What
No,
is he having?
yeah.
So
I'm with
true.
Ox. I don't think she has action either.
No
If it's
doubt
'cause
about it.
the only-
person
that's
is
why-
Asia, bro. I'm gonna be real.
It's Asia. Look, Asia's the MVP, right? But
Yeah.
so I didn't know the other night that Kelsey was having cramps and stuff, right? And so when she wasn't back in the game, I was like, "Yo, Steph, you got to put her back in the game because she's the only one."
voting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not even. It's not that. It's the fact that she's the game was won. The game was won. I mean, until Marina came out there with those heroics like she always does. But either way. Kelsey, I'm like, Kelsey's really the only one that could get this MVP from Asia. And she needs to have these big scoring nights in order to sway the voters. So that was my main reason why I was like, yo, you probably put her back in the game. I didn't know she was having cramps though. You know what I mean? But
Imagine us having an MVP conversation and just not mentioning 22-8 and
no,
like,
we should
just imagine you
because
guys
it hasn't
are
been as
haters.
consistent.
Better.
You're haters.
No, not me. I'm not.
You're a hater.
Not as consistent as these other players. It's just so
You're a
bad.
hater.
I'm absolutely not.
She's in the conversation. She's like number 4 or 5. If she's in the conversation, these other players have been more consistent than Caitlin Clark. That is a fact.
37 and 10.
No. It go Asia. Asia's the MVP. Under her is Kelsey Mitchell. That
No,
next
Asia's the
tier.
best player
That
in
next.
the league.
Yeah, and she's the
player in the
MVP. She's also the MVP. She's also the
most
MVP.
valuable player in the league.
Yes, that's what I said. Yes,
chill,
it's
chill,
Asia.
yes.
It's
Bruh,
Asia.
the defense
and
alone.
then
Her defense
thank
alone,
you.
too.
Thank you.
Like that part. Damn, what happened?
I don't know where he went, but exactly. For all the Caitlin Clark fans,
CCFC muted him.
You know.
Yeah, we would not have it.
Don't be nasty. For every Caitlin Clark stat, Jordan, chill. You know what I have to hear? Last 15 games since All-Star break, motherfucker Kelsey Mitchell been nice since the season started. I have to goddamn say since the last 15 games. She's been the best, most consistent player on that team all year long. And now what some of them are trying to do is turn the fact that Kelsey Mitchell's been consistent into a negative. Oh my goodness. Do you see that record when Kelsey Mitchell leads them in scoring? Yeah, because that means she was playing like a bum the first half of the season. She
Not
was
playing
shooting
like a bum. Y'all
40%.
overhyped it.
She was
You guys
shooting
overhyped it.
40% from Penn. Don't leave me alone on this because you here with me. She was shooting sub 40% from the field the first half of the season. She was not effective. Has she picked it up recently? She's been amazing recently. I'm not taking nothing away from her recently. She's been balling. But to act as if this is what we do, a player gets on a hot streak and then we act like they've been playing like this the whole time. Caitlin Clark has not been playing like this the whole time.
Real talk.
She has not.
I just hate how you guys won't acknowledge how significant of an impact she's having on Kelsey being one of the best scorers in the league. No, I'm not. Hold on, time out. But do you see how he's about to fall out his chair? You about to give yourself a concussion. It does make sense.
Real talk. How can arguably the best distributor in the game not have an impact on somebody being better?
She's the ball better when Caitlin's off the court.
No, oh my goodness.
That's fact. Well, you can, oh my goodness, on you. She scores the ball better when Caitlin's not playing.
Do you know why she does? Do you know why she does that? Do you know why she does that?
Why?
Jaylen Brown scored. Speaking of him, he scores the ball better when Jason Tatum's not on the court because you have to shoot everything.
But it's not scoring more; it's scoring better. Her efficiency is better.
The efficiency is better when Caitlin's off the court.
So they're just better without Caitlin.
Look, that's what
this is what you've been.
That's not the point. The point is you trying to.
Because you use a lot of on-off numbers with Caitlin, and you say when Kelsey and Aaliyah play together, they're better without her.
Stop! I'm not going to let you twist up my words.
You have said this before.
Stop! You tried to associate. Stop! You tried to associate Kelsey's success to Caitlin Clark. I hate when y'all do that. No, Kelsey's just that dope. She's just
I agree.
Dope.
I agree. I agree. But hold on, no, because I think it's a two-way coin. Like the same way that Aaliyah makes both of them better.
Two-way coin.
Yeah, it's a two sides of the coin, and you guys only want to talk.
Anything.
And you guys only want to talk about one side of the coin. What I'm saying is, just like, and I'm adding Aaliyah Boston into this now. I'm adding Aaliyah Boston into this now. Just like Aaliyah makes both of them better, Kelsey makes both of them better as well. But you guys won't act like Caitlin makes Kelsey better and like she doesn't make Aaliyah Boston better.
I'll be
it just doesn't make sense to me.
I will be interested to see this season when Kawhi Leonard and Scotty Barnes is substantially better this year, and it's coincidence that Kawhi Leonard is on the team. I want to hear the same logic that's going on right now with Caitlin Clark and with Kelsey Mitchell, because it's not going to be a coincidence when Kawhi Leonard is there and Scotty Barnes is statistically a better defender, statistically a better scorer, statistically a better rebounder. So I want to make sure that when he's there,
because one of her better years of her career last year,
because the real focus point,
Caitlin Clark really played last year, and Kelsey Mitchell was an MVP candidate.
And in this season right here,
who was the MVP candidate the year before?
Wait, Ron. So in this season right here, do you think that Kelsey Mitchell this year, you think she's better this year than she was last year?
She's having one of the greatest shot making seasons ever.
This season?
Yes.
With Ron, who's on the crew?
Aaliyah Boston.
She does it even with, oh my God.
Caitlin Clark.
I'm sorry. I just want to make sure. Listen, I heard everything that you just said. I heard everything that you literally just said. The point that I'm making. And
in fact, do y'all want to know? Y'all want to know something? Because nasty Caitlin Clark fans put out a record about when Kelsey leads a team in scoring, they have a 500 record. You know what? Also, they have this year. When Caitlin Clark doesn't play, they're undefeated. They haven't lost when Caitlin Clark doesn't play. Do you know what Kelsey Mitchell is averaging this year when Caitlin Clark doesn't play? Like 25 on 50-50.
And what is she averaging?
He just said he doesn't do this. He just said he doesn't do this. I just said that. So are they better without him? And you said, no, don't twist my words.
Oh my God. Because I am... Are you dumb? Are you slow?
You literally just said what I accused you of doing, even though I wasn't even accusing you of doing that, and you said I don't do this, and now you just did it.
Because I don't believe that they're a better team without Caitlin Clark. The reason why I say stuff like that, because I'm finna tell you, because I guess you can't put one and one together.
I can't.
Okay, so here's what I'm saying. Because they use these kind of dumb talking points, so I use another dumb talking point to combat their dumb talking point.
Nobody up here used that point though.
To me, it is dumb to say, "Oh my God, the reason why they're 500 is because they're calling Kelsey Mitchell a ball hog and she dribbles too much. Most of her points are assisted. She's an off-ball player. These niggas don't know what they're talking about. They're just yapping on the internet."
But
right?
real talk. Can we talk up here though? Can we talk up here? I know you're on Twitter a lot. I know it's a lot of different trolls that get at you. Yes, Kelsey Mitchell is an off-ball player, and a lot of times it's Caitlin Clark that gets in the paint and finds her, and it's vice versa too. Kelsey opens up the game for Caitlin, but to act like Caitlin does not help Kelsey in a major way is ridiculous. Now, Kelsey doesn't need Caitlin to be awesome.
There is no tangible
The
evidence
only thing
that supports that.
Okay.
All right, hey, we gotta move on. I can't.
The only thing I'll say about Caitlin Clark is she'd be the worst player. She'd be the worst defender on the Utah Jazz. Can we get back to the subject?
Fair enough.
All right, Kai's World. You guys are. This is other word. This is porta potty nasty. But Kai's World just sent through $4.99 and said Keyonte was probably their best offensive player last year. LOL. He's going to have the ball more than anyone on the team, as he should. DP, Darren Peterson, take notes.
When if the Jazz offense changes, I with now having Darren Peterson on the crew and him playing more of the two guard, because I got a primary ball handler and him playing off the ball. I wonder if now we change the offense.
I got so much higher on Darren Peterson throughout the draft cycle. Like, I went from he's overrated because I kept listening to Ron tell me how he was better than AJ DeBonsa like 2 years ago, to, oh shit, he's like legit underrated, to like actually developing a real appreciation for his game. As prospects, I do not think it is close between him and Keyonte George and the type of players they'll be. And again, like, you know, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Tried tanking for 3 straight years, didn't get a franchise legend, didn't get a franchise player, didn't get somebody that you could sell the fan base on. And the third time's a charm. You tank, get it, boom. You know, now you got that number 2. I am curious though, Caleb, would you have picked AJ DeBonsa if y'all had the number 1 pick?
That's definitely Chandler. That's not Caleb.
So,
definitely.
How dare he?
Ron, you suck.
Get out of here. I can't believe him. Chandler, you don't have to answer that question if you don't want to, because he technically didn't ask you. But if you do,
yeah.
How do you feel?
I did that on purpose, man. You L host so hard today. I think you need some company.
Thank you, Pitt. I appreciate it.
It's so hard to say, because during the, like, you could probably pull some receipts on me about saying how I would draft AJ over Duren, because it's just like you can teach AJ to be a better shooter and a better defender, like, because you could argue those are 2 skills that Darren Peterson has the edge over him on, but you can't teach Darren Peterson to be 6'9" with a 42-inch vertical, you know? So it's like that's some stuff that I have said, but it's so tough to say because, like I said earlier, and fit doesn't matter in the draft. If you're drafting for fit with the 2nd pick, then you should lose your job because you just need to take the best player available.
Agreed.
But the fit, like, you can't ignore it either, and it's just so perfect. If the Jazz keep their core of Keyonte, Duren, Ace, Lauri, Jaren, like, that fit is just so perfect. Of course, one of those guys will have to go to the bench. Maybe you take Ace out of the conversation. Let's just, like, zoom in on the backcourt. Like, Duren as a defender and as an off-ball scorer complements Keyonte so well. Going back to the super chat, I honestly don't think it's that crazy of a take to say that Keyonte will, like, have the ball in his hands most of anyone in this upcoming season. I think that's just, like, as the point guard, that's what's going to happen. And also, he is a pretty solid scorer. Who knows what his numbers will look like, but I think that's just what it's going to look like this year.
Is that more of a usage thing or a time of possession thing for you? Like, he'll probably command time of possession because he's bringing the ball up the court, but, like, we're talking usage as well?
I also, and that's the thing is, like I talked about, to sort of go to, like, the Will Hardy and his usage of younger players, how I said he hasn't started a rookie on game 1 once as a head coach yet. And also, he didn't do it, or I don't want to put this specifically on him. The Jazz didn't really make it a focus to highlight Ace Bailey, right? That was a point that I made earlier. I wonder what it's going to look like this year, because just as I'm thinking through it, if you're now trying to win, trying to be competitive, highlighting a rookie is not going to be a focus, even less so than it was last year. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
I still would think that Keontae's usage would be at least higher than Darren Peterson's, but I could be wrong. That's just where my mind goes.
Fair enough.
All right, I take no Kobe slander. Sent through $4.99 and said, not gonna lie, skinny Luka winning the scoring champ and finishing top 3 MVP. And I got the Lakers 3 or 4 in the West.
I think
It's way
0
too
for
high.
3.
Yeah,
I already know
I
when the Laker episode come up. I
Are you load managing that day?
I might have a dentist appointment. I'm not
Yeah,
saying
real
that
talk.
I
You want to
do.
host that episode?
I might have a dentist appointment on that.
I mean,
Put on that Luka jersey and host
sure.
it. All right.
I
perfect.
mean, Luka is going to lead the league in scoring. I mean, that's going to happen.
I agree.
I mean, I heard it was Ant, but I don't think that. I mean, what is it going to take to lead the league in scoring? In your estimation, real talk, I think 33, 34 game leads the league.
It's going to take him 32 minutes.
Luka's averaging
That's what it's going to take him.
35 this year.
That's
But he puts so many play finishers around him. It's almost like he's in a position to lead the league in assists more so than lead the league in points.
I do both.
Which I would love to be honest with you, real. I mean, and I would love that because I think that 27, I think 28, 11, and 8 looks a lot better than 34, 9, and 9. I just do.
I wanna hop in and shout out with my crew in the chat. He said tired of the skinny Luka stuff. Me too. Like, what is with the skinny Luka, skinny Harden, healthy Embiid? Like, all of this stuff is dumb. When Luka was fat, he led the Mavericks to the NBA championship. He led them to the finals. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. I think that this Lakers team is better than last year's Lakers team, which is like they made the second round of the playoffs. So I don't know what that means for this year's team.
They had James,
but it's like
so
you can, exactly.
It.
But you can highlight Luka more this year. Like this is 100% Luka's team. Like it was still Luka's team last year. Don't get me wrong, he was the best player on the team, but it's like it's less convoluted in my mind.
Yeah, this weight obsession with basketball is actually genuinely very stupid. Like being skinny has pretty much held Ron back his entire career as a basketball player, right? So it's true. We're not trying to be runway models here. We're trying to be basketball
Eat a
players.
steak, Ron. Can you eat a burger? Do something, Ron. Get some extra cheese on that burger too, by the way.
Hey, well, shout out to Luka because he wants to be more like me. All right.
No. But like we were talking about skinny Zion. We saw skinny Zion last year. Are you impressed with what you saw?
Though. Like Zion's game is predicated on his. Yeah, but Luka's not necessarily a power. He does use his weight in all of that. But
absolutely does.
Luka's not a power. He's not classified as a power player. And Luka also having a quicker first step. That would help him more than playing bully
we
ball.
Hope that's what that means with him being skinnier. Is that
I mean, Luka's been able to cook without having a quick first step.
This only comes down to injuries. That's all it is.
That he's so misdirection jump shot dependent. Which I mean, he's so good that he gets away with it. But like, there was a time like 2020, Luka could just beat somebody off the dribble with his first step.
Yeah, but that ain't coming back.
I mean, look at him. It might be here. It might be back.
I think this only comes down to injuries. Like we're trying to lessen the load that you're carrying around so that you maybe sustain better conditioning and less injuries throughout the season, and hopefully helps you a little bit to move your feet defensively because you're moving a little less weight. But we've seen a lot of players get like a little bit skinnier as they get a little bit older to manage their injuries, right? But
the Lakers are a top 4 seed though to the super chat.
It ain't happening. It ain't happening. It ain't happening.
What do you want to put on it? You want to bet the seeding?
You asking me?
The over under?
I don't think it's going to happen. That's why I said if it does, Luka should be by far and away the MVP next year.
You want to bet Olivia Miles not coming number 2 in MVP race?
No, he's the MVP.
Stop relaying bullshit, bro.
As you were saying, Ron. As you were saying, Ron.
All right. I want to shout out to Brody Mack for becoming a YouTube member. Shout out to the Brody Mack. 898 Michi sent through $5 and said, Ron just got this thing where he has to see it to believe it. He's done this with the Blazers and Pistons. Feels like deja vu.
I'm going to be so right about you.
I wish Ron had that thing.
Right about this team next year, chill. So join me.
I'm already on.
Oh yeah, you are here. Yeah, you think?
Yeah, I'm already on board. Yes.
I wish Ron could see something and believe it. Unfortunately, Ron is not the see it and believe it type. He is the believe it and then unsee it type.
Mm-hmm. So it's 3 things I don't believe in this year.
Bro,
We're already here. The Utah Jazz will be there soon. The Toronto Raptors.
September 23rd, lock in.
And we'll be there. We'll be at another place as well eventually after that. The Los Angeles Lakers. I'm taking an under on all 3 of them.
Okay.
I'm absolutely here.
So
You 3 guys here. You guys want to?
No. I got you. But you're also over on the Washington Wizards compared to what average people think. And when they inevitably suck, you're going to be sitting here saying, but they didn't have that guy. But they didn't have that guy.
I didn't necessarily say I was over on the Wizards. I just said that they'll be over the Raptors.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say nothing about this. I'm just curious about what everyone here is feeling. Who's better next season, the Wizards or the Jazz?
The Wizards.
The Jazz.
The Wizards.
The Wizards probably are going to
Haters. Haters. Jazz. Clearly.
Yep.
Trae Young sucks.
You don't.
I'm sorry.
You don't like that, Chandler, or you don't believe that?
I'm not. I feel like I could go.
Chandler, just tell them white people got to stick together. Just say it.
Okay, here we
just
go
say
with
it.
the bullshit.
Just say it.
Right? Here we go with the bullshit. White people got to stick together. Oh my goodness,
That's a joke. Relax.
I'm with you. I'm not a believer in Trae Young, and also I think Trae Young has the like for him being a playmaker, it's like I feel like I don't even know how to explain this, but there are good assists and then there are like get me the assist, you know what I'm saying? Like there are assists where you're actually setting someone up and then there's where like you give someone the ball and they get you the assist. I think he is the latter, and also he is so ball dominant, and the biggest draw with AJ is that he is like a ball dominant wing player. And then it's also, can Trae Young impact winning? Can Anthony Davis stay healthy? I actually like Alex Sarr a lot, so like I think that's a big plus for them. But I don't know. To me, that seems weird.
All right. The next super chat is, well, another one from Brody Mack. Sent through $6.99 and said, respect Vis Misi.
It's Yves Misi.
This feast.
You enemy of the French. What is wrong with you? Okay. First, I also want to take this very brief moment as Chandler is here to announce that Off-Season Pen is back. I noticed last month that I broke a personal PC record. I was on PC 17 times last month. That's never happened before. So much so that Dave had to reach out to me to say, is this correct? You were on 17 times? What are we doing? And I was like, damn, Off-Season Pen got booked more. So Off-Season Pen is back. We are back to being light and breezy and not derailing the show with random Caitlin Clark plays.
There you go.
Because we got a host to do that.
Good job. Good job.
Yes, we do.
The Jonathan Frazier, speaking of Caitlin Clark, sent through $4.99 and said, enough of this Utah talk. Real talk. Go ahead and explain to me that BTA from yesterday. Because if that was a certain somebody in Indy, you'd be real loud right now.
You already went over this, real talk. You ain't got to do this again.
No, you didn't. Really do it again.
No, you know what's funny, Chill, is that
again.
when they played New York Friday and Caitlin shat down her leg late in that game, I didn't say a mumbling word. I didn't say anything about it. I didn't tweet about her.
Did you say a word, real talk?
I didn't say anything about that game. And she boo-booed her leg late in that game. But whenever Olivia plays bad, and all of a sudden I got to say something, which, by the way, I did say something. I said she played bad and she'll bounce back. But it's fine. It's whatever, man.
37-10.
She be killing themselves by 100 teams, but she
gonna keep killing them too.
Yeah.
All right, Big Zod JJ the GOAT anime sent through $4.99 and said, "Whoa, real talk be faking. CC doing the same shit Luka did last year with the Lakers. Now what?"
I don't know if I'm gonna go that far.
So it's a Caitlin Clark super chat, and suddenly you can read. Okay.
Shout out CC.
There was no
Shout out the
structure to
fakers.
that. There was no structure. There was no periods, no commas, nothing. But suddenly you just
Maybe I'm Big Za. Double OJJ, the GOAT Anime, with another $4.99 and said, Trae Young will lead the league in assists next year with that pick and roll with AD. With Trey Johnson in the corner is money all game. And the front court and wings defend.
Trey Johnson is not going to be in the corner. He's awesome in transition. He's awesome at the break. He's awesome coming off screens. I actually think he should be starting, but I understand why they're going with the kid George. So I get it. But Washington's going to be a lot better than what people think they are. I got them as a legit playoff team this year. I got them as a top 6 team. I think they could be as high as 3.
No, 3 teams they'll be better than.
This is going to be fun as hell.
As high as 3 is.
Yeah, I do have them as high as 3.
Jesus Christ, man.
All right, Truth Teller 3371 sent through $4.99 and said Paige Buckets is 80 points away from the most points in a player's first 2 seasons. 11 assists away from being 3rd on the assist list.
Nice.
Paige is the truth.
Yes, she is. She a baller. I'm not gonna argue that. Yes, she is.
God, she came up to Seattle and went. Well, she played against Seattle and went ballistic the other night.
Okay, y'all the business, Ron.
She scored. I said this yesterday. She scored 32 points in basically 3 quarters. And the only reason why she didn't finish with 50 because she was 6 for 6 from 3 and was just like she was shooting the leather off the ball.
She was
the only reason
from the field.
Yeah, going crazy. The only reason she didn't finish with 50 is because they were up 30 in the 3rd quarter.
The number of times that woman has put on a Superwoman cape this season and dragged her team back late in the 4th.
So she had 32 and didn't play in the 4th quarter, is what you're saying.
She didn't have to.
And the way she was rolling, she could have definitely went for 45 or 50.
She could have gone for 50 if she plays the first. She's an incredible clutch player. She's so hard to stop, man.
I get it.
Yeah. One day she'll enter the MVP
pass?
race.
RB.
Who you said?
Parton. I think he's in Dolly Parton pass.
Real talk. You know she 80, right? I just want to put that out there.
I mean, but still, she's been alive all my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, she passed away today. Oh,
R.I.P.
damn.
Dolly Parton. All right, well, we have a couple more members chats, and then we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. No name, bruh. Said, just in, Chilltown has been waived per sources.
It's interesting that I've been cut. Meanwhile, I've been here for the last couple of years, but I'm still on the roster. But I got cut or I got traded. I'm still here. I think that's interesting. Usually when you get waived or when you get cut, what happens, real talk? Like you're gone. Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm still here. Yeah. So I guess I have not been waived. I wonder
who his sources are.
Yeah. Well,
exactly. He ain't been waived, but he's been on other platforms cooking very emotional Kobe Bryant fans. I did see that one. Damn.
Shout out to
that took some restraint, man. That dude was a straight idiot.
So. Yo, you know he had on 2 different color shoes?
I'm not surprised. He had two different wigs on too, didn't he?
Couldn't happen up here though. Well, with Ron by himself, maybe.
Sure. Yeah, sir. That's what it is. No doubt.
Also, Chill is not. I mean, Chill is the farthest from being cut. Ron would get cut before Chill, and Ron's related to the gut.
The thing about it is, we can't cut our Caitlin Clark.
Yo,
chill.
Now, could we cut our Timpson?
This wrong
Timpson.
This wrong contract.
Yo, PC told me I was on the block, but no one wanted me. They said we tried to trade you. No one wanted you.
We buying Ron out. We eating Ron contract.
I'm Kelsey. I'm a fishing. I'm a fishing every time I come up here.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Avery sent through a members chat and said Angel is the best rebounder in the history of the dub. Top 3 rebounding seasons ever, and now most in a game. People stay focusing on what she can't do well, yet shaking my head.
Avery, can we let her do this for a specific time before we just crown her as the best rebounder?
No,
I don't know if you know this, but
chill.
Statistically, objectively, it is true. She is the greatest rebounder in WNBA history.
Man.
No. There's no breaks to be given. Chill.
Yes, it is. She's not a better rebounder than Sylvia. No, she is not.
Chill.
No.
I feel like when America sent someone to the moon, right? And someone landed on the moon. Were you there being like, yo, can we wait a minute? Can we give it 10 years? No, someone landed on the moon.
I can get
She
with
is
that.
the
I
best
100% can with that.
rebounder in WNBA history right now. I
Better
know
than
you
Tina-
have this
better
gimmick
than
where
Tina
you do this
Charles?
thing with young players where we gotta
Better
wait
than Tina
5 years.
Charles? Better
Yes.
than Tina Charles? Better
Yes.
than Sylvia?
Yes,
I'm
yes.
putting a lot on it.
Every unless Dennis Rodman goes Joanna Man and goes to WNBA, ain't no unless Reggie Evans goes to WNBA,
Well.
unless Ennis Cantor gets his wish and goes to WNBA, there ain't gonna be a better rebounder than Angel Reese. She has a special skill for this. It is why she's in the W, and she is fucking incredible.
Well, it's not why she's in the W, but
It's one of the
main reasons,
it's-
though. It's
if
one of the
she
main
couldn't
Well,
rebound,
yeah,
she ain't
but
in the W, okay?
Yeah,
Like
for-
let's be
no.
real. If she ain't if she ain't a good rebounder, she's not in the W. But it's a superpower, man. It's like,
Nah,
we don't talk about-
it is.
It is
But
a
she's
legit
not just a rebounder though. Like we're not.
No,
gonna
I'm
do
not- I'm
that.
not saying that.
Angel is a hooper. She
No.
is a baller.
You're not schooling me on Angel Reese.
Oh, it's not. I'm not just necessarily talking to you. I'm talking.
I
I'm
know how
talking.
good. I know how good.
Pin, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the Angel Reese
To
haters.
the
So
haters.
if you don't
Okay.
if you don't qualify as Angel Reese hater, you don't got to respond to this. Angel Reese is a baller.
Yes, she is.
She can score. She just doesn't. She's not what you guys want her to be,
She
or
got depth
all of
perception
that.
issues. She got.
But
depth
now
perception and touch
Angel's
issues.
still
Might
nice
need
on the
glasses.
offensive end though.
Oh, no,
Angel's still alright.
You think she might need glasses, Pen?
I don't know what she needs, but she got touch issues and depth perception issues
Might need glasses.
galore. Like
And she
sometimes
got
she
touch
just be,
issues, but we've seen so many bigs that come through. Now I'm talking about the NBA side. We've seen so many elite bigs come through, and they're not the best on the offensive end.
Like,
But Angel does play defense, and she does rebound,
yeah.
and she's competent
physical.
scorer.
And you know what? Everything you said about Dylan Brooks, how they lead to winning, how they inspire winning.
we
They
need her. We need her.
Angel
If we
Reese
tryna
like
win-
that too. Like she keeps
If we
your
trying to win, we need
she
her.
keeps your locker room organized
Yeah.
and like
if we trying to win, we need
focused
her.
on what the main thing is. You know what I mean? She's a leader. That's what I'll say. Like whenever this Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese shit comes up to me, I'm like, the W is not where it is without those two being exactly who they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fair
And
enough.
yes, Olivia Miles to me is a better player than both, but that's not a conversation we need to have right now because we already had it. But yeah,
All right, last but not least, Big Ox Media sent through a $4.99 super chat. He had to get a loan to make this happen, but he said, "Hey, Ron, let's get Chandler a PC contract. He knows ball."
Fight that, Ron?
Nah, I was impressed.
Fight that, huh?
I was definitely impressed.
Absolutely.
Minded to take your day.
All right, fellas, it's
Later.
been real. Chandler, you have anything to say to the people on the way out?
I do have a question. Someone in here was a Grizzlies fan. Was it Mars?
Mars.
Yeah.
He's for the streets, though. Don't worry about him, Chandler, because next year
Yeah, he's
he's
not
going to
a
be
real
somebody
fan.
else.
he'll be a Utah fan by like end
Yeah.
of the year or
Don't
something.
even sweat that.
And a Houston fan, and a Laker
Yeah.
fan, and a Raptor fan, and a
for the
Phoenix
streets.
Suns fan, and a Magic fan, and a Heat.
Yeah.
He's a
He's
hoe.
for the street. Yeah,
Is what
Mars
I'm
is for the
saying.
streets.
Mars a hoe.
Okay.
Mhm.
I was just wondering because I'm traveling this year. I'll be at the season opener in Memphis, so
Yeah.
I'll be all over the place. But
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Mars
in
is-
London anyway.
Yeah, Mars is for the
He's in
streets.
Alabama. Stop lying
Right.
to our
Yeah.
esteemed guest. He is in Alabama.
Later.
Yeah.
Hey,
All right,
hey,
peace,
Chandler, hit me if you back up in Seattle at any point, and if you go to All-Star Weekend, we will be there. So we'd love
Okay.
to connect.
I appreciate y'all.
Where's All-Star Weekend this year?
It's
Phoenix,
Phoenix.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time, man. Great time. But all right, y'all. It's been fun. It's been real. We will be back tomorrow to talk about the Los Angeles Clippers. All right, fellas, we out.